Welcome to my national podcast. Let's get into it. Alright, I guess the sound effects are going a little crazy. Welcome to my asshole podcast. We got another beautiful Sunday episode for you with the Rig 4 in the house.
What's up?
Baby.
Yeah. I got a soundboard too, by the way.
You're going to be hearing a lot more of the sound effects.
Yeah.
We went and got our boy a sound deck. So he's going to be spinning the ones and twos for me and everything. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a best friend quiz. So we're going to see how well we know each other, and we're going to put our friendship in some different situations. All right. So we're going to have our handy dandy whiteboards. All right. And some mock arrays. And what we're going to do is I'm going to ask the question. We are then going to either put an A for me or an M for him. And we're going to see how many we can pretty much match up on. And so we're going to you guys can, play this game and let us know how it did with your friend. We use the same questions, all that kind of stuff. Let us know down in the comments, all that good stuff. And yeah, let's do this. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I am ready.
For Halo Reach.
Halo Reach. All right. Our first question. Who is the most argumentative?
Okay.
Oh. All right. Oh. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah.
Got it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows. I like to argue. So.
As much as I love my boy, man.
Yeah.
He love a good argument.
Yep, that's correct. It is what it is.
It's funny though because it's like he argues with everybody but me.
Right. Yeah.
I think I maybe count one time.
Yeah.
We've ever gotten into an argument, and it wasn't even really anything fucking serious. We were probably, I don't know. I remember something about a trash can and fire or something. I don't know.
I don't remember, honestly, because
that's how irrelevant and small it fucking was.
Yeah, we're just on the same wavelength, so we never really had any arguments like that.
No, not really, or any disagreements like that. But I still know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, on to our next one. Who is the pettiest? Who would be the pettiest? Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah. It goes alongside with the arguments, dude. Yeah. I argue because I'm petty, and I'm petty because I argue. You know?
What is the pettiest thing you've done?
That's a good question. I don't really remember too many of my pettiness, but I know, the most common one I have is road rage for sure.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I definitely, I'll cut in front of people, slow down, especially if I feel like you're blocking me in some fashion, right? Where, it's some old lady getting on the freeway extra slow, or not even an old lady, but someone that's just you know what, dude? I feel like they feel like I'm going extra slow, so they'll cut in front of me in a weird fashion, they go in the bike lane or some shit like that. I'm like,
bro,
okay.
that's annoying.
All right, yeah, don't let me get in front of you, because we'll come to a stop, dude. We'll just stop right here, and then we'll learn patience, since you want to be impatient,
Shit, bro. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm just so fucking nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person where it's just oh, that's what you want to do? Cool, bro. You do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just let shit go. I have that you know how they be making fun of the, like, when you date a nonchalant guy?
Yeah.
That is me to a T, dude. I'm way too nonchalant about everything.
Yeah, like, from the very beginning, dude, because I still remember, you remember that one time, like, a long time ago, when we were teenagers, that it was some fucking kid wanted to, like, fight you in front of your house? And the whole time he was talking so much cash shit, dude. And you were just there like, okay, and like, can you just get to the point? You know, like, so, like, whatever. I was like, what are we doing here? Why is there so much talking? You know? And that he was just there like, okay.
Yeah.
Next question. You know? So yeah, just always been that way. So I knew exactly.
100%. All right. On to our next one. We're 2 for 2, baby.
2 for 2.
All right. Who do you think is the smartest of us two?
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think I know. I think I know who I'm gonna go with on this one. All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Okay. Very well.
All right. The reason I say you is because I feel like you have a lot more tangible experience with things. Like, I've done a lot, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I feel like you have a lot more tangible experience as far as just, I'm doing more grown-up shit. You know
okay.
I mean?
Okay.
Like, you know,
I could see that.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. You know, I've stepped into being like an adult, if you will. Because, okay, for me, I had only started living on my own maybe like, 3 years ago.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? And you had been doing it for like way longer than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got married. I'm not married. You have kids. I don't got kids. You know what I mean? Like, you have so much more tangible experience, and it just allows you to navigate the world a lot smarter than I would.
Okay.
You know, like, I don't really have to think about, like, risk, reward, and, like, oh, shoot, should I do this? Put my time into that. Yeah, so, like, I could just be like, la-da-da, whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? So that's why I say you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say the reason I went with you is because it's kind of along similar lines where I feel like for you have more experience with like music, like actually like following through with what you say you're going to, right? And like, yeah, I did follow through with the Marine Corps, and then as well as like I did start a family early on, but I feel like it is, now that I look back on it, I feel like it's almost smarter to wait for longer. Just to get more experience under your belt first before you get in those positions. And then, like, obviously, like, you've always been the one that's, like, been ahead of me in school. So that's why I was like, all right, yeah, like, it would only make sense for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
But, like, that wasn't the case, though, in, like, middle school, though. In middle school, he always had better grades than I did. I think high school.
Yeah, it was high school more.
The thing is, though, he got tall, he got handsome, and bitches took him away. That's what happened, because, I mean, in middle school, you know, you were a short kid.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't really have a sense of style like that, but then you hit that growth spurt. Because I was always taller than him.
Yeah, always, yeah.
Time. Dude, 10th grade hitting, bro, was just like, stop. You know, like, yo, what up, Ring?
Yeah.
What up? And he's just like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, and then he got a little sense of style, and bitches were just crawling all over. I was like, okay, all right then, pimp.
All right. I mean, you're not wrong on the height thing, because I tell people this all the time, especially for people that were, well, like mainly a lot of the teenagers that I talk to in my life, where they're like, I'm subconscious about like when I'm going to get taller. And I'm like, dude, I was 5 foot until sophomore year. I wasn't 5 foot until sophomore year. And then it started to like jump by the time I got to a junior. Right. And so that's why I'm like, you know, late bloomers happen all the time. You know, it's not like a big deal to be like 14, 15 and you're still, considered short, you know, so.
Or you stay like me, you just stay forever, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But see, look, you got, this is my thing. You always have tall friends. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. All my friends are taller than me, but it's one of those things where if I get into a fight, though, you know what I mean? They look bigger behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make them think twice a little bit. Like, oh, maybe I don't want to fuck with that guy. The dude's behind him might fuck me up. Like,
plus with your nonchalant attitude, they're like, this guy's way too calm in this situation. I don't know what he's capable of. I'm not doing this.
Oh shit! All right, on to our next one. Who would be the better athlete?
Oh, that's a hard one, dude.
That is a hard one. Okay. I think I know the direction I'm going to go with it, though. And we aren't cheating, I promise.
Yeah, promise
We're
you.
not cheating. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
I put an M and an A because I couldn't decide. I could not decide, honestly.
I definitely I put you because if I'm being honest with you, I work out. I'm in shape, very fit. You know what I mean? You know, I take kickboxing classes once a week, stuff like that. Like, I do things to stay pretty active, but I don't have the level of activity of a Marine.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the stamina nor the like mental muscle capacity that you would to be in the military.
Okay.
Yeah, I would look at a military man and I'm like, no, I'm not beating you in push-ups. I'm not beating you in a plank. I'm not beating you in a run. Like, that's just not fucking happening.
Right.
And I cognitively understand it. There's so many dudes in the gym that think that because they're in the gym that they have more endurance and stamina than a Marine or a military man in general. And I'm like, you don't. Trust me, you don't. Like, I remember when in high school we used to do that program where they would like put you through military drills and training and all that kind of stuff, like how it would be in like basic. I don't know if you remember that. And I remember I went with you one time.
Oh.
You went with a couple friends and you had told me about it and I was like, oh, I want to
Yeah.
I went one time, dude. Kicked my ass.
Yeah, you're talking about the Pulley program that the recruiters held around.
Yes.
Okay.
And I went. Well, you took me one time.
Yeah.
I remember your mom dropped us off.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yeah, I don't think this is gonna be that bad. I was sore for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And he called me talking about, hey, you know, you want to do it again? I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, it did take me getting some used to as well, and I found out later that recruiters will put you through worse, so that way you're more ready for boot camp, because boot camp's gonna be more mental than physical, and then obviously it'll only be worse if you're not physically there. So, but yeah, I mean, I remember we did that one time, and I don't know, dude, I just got like addicted. But like the thing was, I was more so remembering like when we used to skate and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so like we always were like able to keep up with each other. That was when we got to high school, and then like I started actively training for the Marine Corps is when that like separation started happening. So like obviously you didn't start doing the same things I did, so that's what I feel like made the difference. But like as far as like, you know, from the point prior on, I was like, yeah, if I hadn't been training for the Marine Corps, we probably would have been in the same kind of like fitness level, you know?
100%,
so
100%.
I definitely was like, I couldn't choose.
Yeah, I would have. I think I would have maybe leaned a little more toward myself just because I have a lot more time to like focus to, you know, working out and regimenting and hitting hypertrophy and stuff. Obviously, you don't have the time on your hands. That's why I would have went for myself. But because you have that military experience, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not more physically fit than a Marine. Like, that's just not. No.
Right.
Sorry. It's just not. I don't care how conditioned you are in the gym or how big of a guy you are in the gym. You just don't have the same level of strength nor stamina that they have. It doesn't happen. So, yeah, man. All right. Who of the two of us is the funniest?
Another hard one, bro.
That one is, bro. That one is. I don't know, man. I want to put an MA like he did, but if I had to choose, hold on. What am I doing here? Okay, there we go. All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, look, okay. You guys know me on the show. You know I'm a pretty, puntastic guy. But dude's been on the show for what? Like a month now.
Yeah.
And has absolutely just turned you guys upside down. And I'm constantly getting comments of like, yo, dude is so funny. They love the fucking pre-order line. Because there are like young people that listen to us, but there are people our age that listen to us as well. And so, when we do reference certain things, they do pick up on the references.
Yeah.
And the fact that like you bounce off of me with those references, people are loving him, and I'm just like, I gotta give it to him, dude. Yeah, he's funny. And I remember I even made a clip of one of our episodes where the homeless thing.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, dude, you got all your stuff. Of course you do. You're homeless. And I was dying laughing over that shit, bro. So it's just like, yeah, no, I gotta give it to you, man.
Yeah. I would just say like I'm a little bit funnier because obviously some of my best memories from when I'm younger, right? And I mean, it just comes from, there's a lot of darkness in there, but like some of the best memories I have is us just dying of laughter because of how fucking funny we were, and like still are, so that's why I'm like, dude, yeah, like I'm only like just like a tad bit funnier because I don't know what I would say for that, but
I think it's just because you're able to just quick fire shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm saying something, and then you're able to just kind of like add on top of it with a nice joke.
Yeah.
Me, it kind of takes a little while for me to kind of do something like that, but yours is nice. It's quick.
Yeah.
It is quick. And so that's why I was just like, yeah, the ring's a little more quick fire with it. As to where, like, me, it'll take a little while because I'm, like, thinking about it. I ain't gonna lie to you, but yeah. All right. On to our next one. Who is the most daring?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Boy. Boom. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Boom.
All right. Okay.
What? Why do you say yourself?
I mean, I would just say I'm more daring, obviously, because the Marine Corps, that's like an easy cop out, obviously. But, I had to like put myself in a particular mindset to be that kind of daring person. So I guess in that kind of aspect, as far as like physically, yeah, probably I would say myself. I am curious as to why you said yourself.
Just because of all of the opportunities I've taken. When I was younger, right out of high school, I was in a traveling band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of like getting a job and doing all that, I was like living the hippie life kind of thing. I was traveling with my friends in a band, playing music, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I did that for 5 years. Then right after that, I took on music independently and did that. And then, later on, I've always stayed in kind of like the content creation world and all of that. And so then, I got into obviously the podcast later on. And so I've just always taken like giant risks in my life where where a lot of people would kind of just, think about it and be like, man, I want to do that, but no, because there's not immediate money in it.
Yeah.
You're not making money right away. Like, they don't want to do it or they'll give up. Like, dude, I've done over 500 episodes of this podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of those things where it's like, I stepped into it and I did it and I'm like sticking with it all the way through. Same thing with music. It was like, dude, we weren't making money. We were like playing at bars for like $50 split between 4 people kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we weren't making money. We weren't doing that. It was very daring risks to like do all this, and then for multiple years at that. It's not like we did it for a couple months and we're like, we're done with this. No, like we did it for years. So that's the only reason why I say I would be the most daring. Is just I've taken the most risks, and it's got me to where I am today, and I I'm happy for it and I enjoy it, and so that's why I say me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's initially what I thought of too, with like how, like I said before, it's for you. You actually went out there and with your smarts, you pursued different things that you felt like you could achieve, whereas my mindset was more so I initially joined the Marine Corps for the security of like my college being paid for and like retirement and stuff like that. And so that for me wasn't too daring. But then obviously there's the other physical aspects of it of like going to different countries, whatever the case may be. But that's where I was like, okay, like that for me was a different type of daring, and then like yours is a different type of daring as well. So that's why I'm like, it's kind of just 50-50, in a way.
Yeah,
so
100%. We've lived a lot of life. And I think that's why, I'm glad I started the podcast at 30 years old, because I see a lot of like younger kids and, younger people trying to do influencing, and like, my thing is just, dude, you're fucking in your early 20s. What are you influencing? What are you influencing? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have like knowledge to kind of, pick from, whether it may be from other people or even anecdotal. It's like, dude, you have no room to be influencing anybody.
Right. Yeah.
With you. Like, I would never sit there and listen to a 23-year-old person trying to give me life advice. Like, sorry, dude, I'm just not listening to you. You have not lived enough life to really be giving anybody advice. You should be learning, if anything, and figuring things out, and putting yourself in positions to experience things to then give said advice later on in life. And that's why for me, I was just like, there's no way I would have started this podcast early 20s, mid 20s even. There's no way, because there's no way I would have been able to help as many people as I've helped. There's no way I would have been able to give advice to people the way I give advice to them. Like, the amount of people that I've helped in the 3 years of doing this show is astronomical to me. Like, the fact that I have DMs from men, women, older than me, younger than me, same age as me, they're all saying, like, yeah, you really helped me out in this situation. Yeah, you really gave me some clarity. Yeah, you really helped me make a tough decision. Yeah, you were right. I should have did this. Yeah, thank you for, pretty much confirming what I'm already thinking and allowing me to, like, make that decision and not feel like I am making a bad decision or I'm making the wrong decision. So, like, for me, being in this position as someone who has traveled the world and talked to a lot of people through, my music when I was a traveling musician, and then as far as bringing that into I guess you would say the business world, if you will, and just in working in general, being in the workforce, stuff like that. I'm not saying like I worked at some high level business job or anything. No, I'm just saying the work force in general. You meet different people, you talk to different people, you deal with different personalities, cultures, all that kind of stuff. And then, I brought that into obviously the podcasting space, and it just allowed me to kind of do that for people. And so that's why for me, I'm just like, yeah, dude, our life experience now is like very valuable, I feel, especially nowadays, because I feel like now parents don't really want to like take care of their kids the way they should be.
100%.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, iPad here.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And kids, I believe, learn off the internet.
Yeah.
Like the internet pretty much, they grow up, letting the internet be their teacher. And so for me, I look at it like, if I can just be that source of like little bit of entertainment, a little bit of knowledge and help, I'm about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude. All right, let's get on to the next question. All right, who would snitch first in a police investigation? Oh, shit, dude. All right. Oh, shit, dude.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, and 3.
All right. Oh. I put 0 because I was like, I don't think either one of us are really snitching.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, see, my thing is yeah, I would hold out for a long time. All right?
Yeah.
Lie to you. I'd hold out, but I don't think I would hold out as long as you would.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They'd find a way to break me eventually. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I'm sure you guys probably went through some sort of interrogation training. You know what I mean? Like some type of PDW style training or something like that, knowing your military background. So I'm like, yeah, he would kind of be like, this is another Tuesday for me. Give me your worst. Me, I would hold out for a while, but then I get to a point where I'm like, all right, look, here's where the bodies are.
I mean, for me, it's just one of those things where I was saying neither one of us, because I mean, for myself, not necessarily that I went through any training, because that stuff's for like more of the high, like high speed, like either Marines or like special forces or whatever, right? Or just like, yeah, it's more for like those highly dangerous fields inside the Marine Corps. But for me, I just spent a lot of time being bored, so like there's not really anything a police officer could do that would get me to be scared, because at the end of the day, it's like you're just gonna go somewhere else and be bored. They threaten me with life or like the death, and it's like, well, I already signed my life away to die for this country. So you put me to death, then it's like, okay, who cares? You know, we're all gonna die anyway. So, and then as far as like, well, then you'll just get life and have to serve life in prison. And it's like, well, I've been bored for fucking plenty of time in the Marine Corps with a hurry up and wait and whatever, and I've survived that. You know, so it's like, there's not really much you could like threaten me where I'd be like, all right, dude, like I'm not. I'll give up, you know, and then for yourself, like, I just see you pretty much like in a similar fashion where like, I know you're a strong-willed dude. So I was like, oh yeah, like it wouldn't really matter what they do, but you know, it also doesn't like, to me, really matter what you do, because at the end of the day, like, you are your own person. So I'm not going to be like those dudes who are like, oh dude, like none of my fucking homies can snitch or whatever, but it's you know.
My thing is, it would just be attrition.
Yeah.
They would have to, like, I would stay strong for as long as I could, but that attrition, I think that war of attrition I would lose, just because it'd be so long, and it would just be like, oh, fuck, man. You know, I'm just like...
That's a valid point, you know.
You get to a point where it's like, say, you know, I go a month, don't say nothing. 2 months, don't say nothing. Go 6 months, don't say nothing. Go 8 months, don't say nothing. A year, don't say nothing. And then they keep at me. After a while, I'd be at a point where I'm like, shit. All right, now I'm contemplating stuff. You know, I'm letting my own mind and imagination run a little bit. And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. And they're just like, take the plea deal. And I'm just like, oh, no, man, no. Honestly, I would throw it back on myself, though. I'd be like, I did it. He had nothing to do with it. I would definitely die for the homie. I'm gonna lie.
I feel that, yeah.
I wouldn't sit there and be like, yeah, we did it. No, I'd be like, I did it. I'd take the whole rap, because at the same time, I know what's at stake. I'm like, bro, I'm good. Like, I would get out, and it's like, I would have a good support system. I'd have friends, my family, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a good support system, but
right.
You got people that depend on you right now. You know, and so it's like, if you were gone 10 years, like, shit would change.
Yeah.
For me, 10 years would only change 10 years.
Yeah, okay.
My life wouldn't really change. I'd be able to go back to, you know, my family and my friends, and, you know, I'd obviously have to find a job and stuff like that, but it's like, not much would change in my life. So I would also weigh that option too. Like, I'm good. I'll take it. I'll do what I gotta do. I'll dive on the grenade for the homie.
I can see that, and that's like, that's a good point that you bring up, because it's like, anyone else, dude, I'd be like, yeah, just go ahead, run down to the nearest KFC, 2-piece, give me a mac and cheese, you know, a tall Dr. Pepper, and you'll get everything in chronological order, cited with resources. You know what I mean? Because anyone else, I'm like, yeah, all right, you fuck.
Sitting there eating chicken, man.
They caught you, bro. I don't know how they caught you, bro. That's crazy. Yeah. Dude, can I get a little bit more hot sauce in here? Dude, I have no idea how they could have known, dude. It was so crazy.
Knowing your level of power, bro. You're just sitting there just eating chicken. Yo, they caught you?
Yep. No way, dude.
Oh,
no way. Bro. That sucks. Yeah.
I'll see you in 10 years, bro.
Yeah, see you in 10 years. Or not. I mean, you don't have to visit me, you know, dude.
You know, it's all good, bro.
It's all good. Don't worry.
Don't drop the soap.
Don't. Yeah. Yep. Don't drop the soap.
Oh, yeah, bro. All right. On to the next one. Who could resist temptation the longest? Temptation meaning like, you know, either the lust of women or breaking a diet or, you know what I mean? Just you kind of stepping out of those boundaries and giving into temptation.
Okay.
That one is a tough one.
I have my answer.
Dude, I can't. The thing is like, we're both extremely disciplined individuals.
Right.
And this question, wavers on discipline. And it's just like, fuck. Because I know how disciplined you are. Just because, I've seen your life, been in your life for damn near 20 years.
Yeah.
That's 2 decades doesn't just happen,
Yeah.
It's funny because I was driving home from work today. And I was like, yo, this year is 20 years I've known the Riggin. Like, bro, like 2 days, like I said, like we said in the last Sunday episode, we met around 2006, 2007.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 2026, my guy.
How old were we? Oh, that was yeah,
Yeah, because we were what?
11?
11, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
11.
Math was just not like registering in my brain. I was like,
yeah.
I gotta do the math.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Dude was just like, oh, what is going on here? Hold on, let me just figure this out.
Yeah.
Let me figure this out. But yeah. So, dude, I was driving home and I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, dude, man, this marks 20 fucking years I've known this dude.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, And while I was at work, I was, writing the questions for today's show.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking to myself, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, dude. And as I was writing the questions, I'm like, I know all of these questions, to him. And I know that he knows all these about me. And I was like, dude, it is so crazy that it's been 20 years. You don't really think that, you just kind of go through life and you just,
yeah, you're just living, having fun, and then like
before
that's.
You know it, it's just like boom, 20 years.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck. And I was playing through my head, like us in middle school when we were talking about it on last week's episode, and I was just like, yeah, man, I could vividly picture Miss Riley's classroom.
Yeah. Yep.
Where
Same.
we were sitting. The Anne Frank movie on there, us laughing and everybody looking at us crazy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I could.
All the arguments I got into with Miss Riley. God damn it, bro. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, dude, it was something else, dude. All right. I think I have my person. Okay. What was the question? Let me reiterate it because I kind of yabbered on. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so the question was, who could resist temptation the longest? All right. So 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
A.M.
Me?
I said you because I just know how my habits are. Where I do try to live a pretty disciplined lifestyle. My one vice. I have a couple vices, but my one vice that like I say I always go back on is kind of like fast food, where like I try to keep myself as healthy as possible and as active as possible because I already love physical activity, so like running and stuff is fine for me. It's just that like I also like food, like fried food, burgers, stuff like that.
They're like, this motherfucker likes running. What? They're just what? Like, what the? You like running?
Yeah, it's euphoric, dude. You get used to it, and then you're like, dude, it's for improvement, and that's why I'm like, for you, like obviously you're able to like keep yourself disciplined. You have weights everywhere you go. You have some type of physical activity going on. Like you said in another episode, we never ever went after each other's girl or anything like that, and so it's like I feel like you have a lot of discipline there as like far as lust and stuff like that. And then so it's just one of those things where for myself I'm like, yeah, I feel like if anything you would be more or like less likely for temptation and stuff like that,
Yeah, I said you for like the reasons of I've never known you to really fall for anything. Like if it's in the realms of like gullibleness, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
I would feel like I would be the more gullible or the more willing to fall into temptation than you would, just because you you question everything. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
He's the type of guy that he's not very like cautious or like overly, judgmental with things, but it's more of just like he's able to kind of look at things, and he's always done this as long as I've known Michael. He would look at things and then just question the shit out of it and be like, nah, and be able to find 1,000,001 holes in it. And I'm just like, oh, but come on, Rick, it'll be this and that. like, let's go. And you're just like, the inconsistency and X, Y, and Z aren't lining up, bro. And I'm just like, but it'd be fun, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm like, there's no way if it's a competition between us two and it came to Temptation, you would falter into that before I would. Would you give into it? I'm sure to some degree.
Right.
But not before I would.
Okay.
I would fall for that just because I would look at it and then I would kind of like weigh the pros and cons a little bit and be like, I could do that. But then you would just be skeptical so much to the point where you're just like, nah, all X, Y, and Z and all these holes, nah.
Yeah.
Like, I would look at the holes in the situation and be like, fuck it, let's give it a try. So, he'd be like, nah, I'm in it and I ain't in it.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Oh, my goodness. All right, on to our next one. Okay, who do you feel is the most emotional? That's a tough one.
That's a tough one, yeah.
Pretty stoic guys.
Yeah,
pretty stoic guys. I think I know who I'm gonna go with on this one. Oh, jeez. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Boom. Okay.
Okay.
Why do you say yourself?
I say myself because, especially when I was younger, I would definitely get a lot angry pretty quickly. Okay. And that's still something I kind of deal with just because part of it is like I like to argue. And then I think like my body's just like, you know what, dude, like we'll just feed off of that and be angry a lot of the time. So,
okay.
I mean, obviously, like, yeah, I do look at things pretty analytically, like you said. I'll be skeptic about most things and stoic about a lot of things. And it kind of gets me in trouble because I just am not like the most like emotionally involved with things.
Okay.
But yeah, I would just say for myself, like, I mean, like, I've never really seen you like I said, blow up on anything or like be emotional about pretty much anything. Like, you'd be, like, shit would suck. You're like, dang, dude. All right, and then like you just keep it pushing. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I couldn't see you being more emotional than myself for sure.
Oh, okay. For me, it's the fact that like I can't hide my emotions on my face. Okay, like you can't. I'm very easily readable person. Like when when I'm upset, you can just look at my face. When I'm happy, you just look at my face. And so I lean far into my emotions a lot, especially through writing music and having a career doing that for a minute. Has really allowed me to not only have that outlet, but something to pour into it. And so because I have that outlet, I think I lean more into my emotions a lot more because of that. And so again, like for you, you're able to kind of like hide it. Yeah, you'll be mad. Yeah, you'll be upset, whatever, but you'll have just a stoic face. And people will question, like, is he all right? Is he good? He might be all right. He might be good. He might not be. They don't know. But me, they're just like, yeah, he's mad. yeah, he's upset. Yeah, he's sad. Because I can't hide it on my face.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely probably the more emotional one between us two, just because of that fact. I can't hide my emotions. I let them fly the moment. I don't really think about them first and then act. I just act and then think about it later. I'm definitely the type of person, especially in relationships, and this is like my biggest, definitely is where I will sit there and like, get mad and like kind of snap a little bit, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I didn't mean, trying to take it back type thing. And I hate myself about that, and I try to catch myself doing it, but it's so hard because I snap first and then, think about it later. And I shouldn't do that. I know that I shouldn't do that. And I try to work on it, but yeah, man, that is my biggest red flag when it comes to just relationships and all that kind of stuff. Big time, like, emotion first and then I think later. And I'm like, oh, like, that's not good. That's not fucking
Yeah,
good.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to our next one. Oh, this is a good one. Who do you feel puts more effort into the friendship? Oh, this is a tough one. Definite tough one. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that's a toughie. Yeah.
Definite tough one. Because I definitely do feel like we put good equal amount into the relationship. Like, I don't ever feel, like, oh, the rigger does it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I got my answer. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we agree on that one.
All right. Why do you say it yourself?
I think it's just because, like, how I am with, like, and this is, like, how I really see our relationship. It's just, like, obviously I'm very loyal to you, and it's one of those things where, I mean, even from an early age, bro, like, I still remember, and I see this in my own daughter, my oldest daughter, where, like, I don't know if you remember, but I used to call you nonstop until you would answer the phone.
Yeah.
And then your dad would sometimes answer your phone and be like, brother, you don't think that, like, him not answering the phone means he can't come, like, to the phone? Like, why do you keep calling? And I was just like, I don't know. Like, I was just so, and that's just kind of how I've been, is, like, obviously, it's reciprocated, where obviously we both reach out to each other pretty equally is what I'm getting at. But, like, obviously I just feel like, for whatever reason, it just always ends up being, like, myself that's like, all right, well, like, if it's not you, it's, like, me saying, like, let's do this, or, like, let's plan this, or, like, let's go here, or whatever, right? And that's why we had those, like, Legoland trips and shit like that. Yeah, dude.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I said you, because, dude, all throughout our years growing up, like, your mom took care of me as if, like, I was her son.
Yeah.
Anywhere that you guys went, when we went to K1, when we went to Legoland, just all kinds of, like, family events, stuff like that. Like, dude, I was literally, like, fucking part of the family.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would think, like, oh, why, that was his mom, not necessarily him, but it's the fact that he would ask his mom, hey, can Aaron come?
Yeah.
I want him there.
Yeah.
I want him to be, you know what I mean? Like, that level of, like, effort to just think about me was crazy.
Yeah.
And then even into our adult life, it was just, he was always like, hey, always hitting me up every weekend. Hey, my daughter is having a birthday party. Come by. Hey, we're having a little get together. Come by. Hey, you and your girl come by.
Yeah.
We're gonna hang out and just do whatever. We're gonna watch the girls play outside. It was always just like, you were always involving me in everything in your life. There was never a moment where, like, you didn't involve me. And even if I couldn't go, you're just like, don't worry about it. I'll get you next time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sure, I'm definitely like that too. But I feel to a bit of a lesser degree than you are. Like, I love having you involved in my life as far as, where when we do shit together, when we go places to experience things, doing the podcast together. Like, I started the podcast by myself, but and I always say this. I've always said this in multiple episodes. I was just like, this podcast was never supposed to just be me. It was actually supposed to be both of us in the beginning. And I told him on the phone, and I was just like, dude, the new year started and everything. And, he had finally gotten to a place in his life where he felt, he was comfortable being on camera and doing this and stuff like that. He got to a mindset where he felt good to do it. And I was like, dude, the door is fucking open.
Yeah.
Like, come on here, fucking co-host, and let's do it, And I put, like, so much money into his side of the show, as far as, new microphone art, getting him a soundboard, just, really involving him in the show. So it's like, I have that, that, like, effort to a degree. I feel like for you, it's just been a span of over years. It's just, I've always come back to memories of, like, I want Aaron to come with me and we do this. Oh, we do this and we do that. And so that's why I say you. I'm just like, he definitely puts a lot more effort into the relationship than I would.
And he didn't mention it, but he was my best man at my wedding. So
You know what I mean?
There's multiple, pretty much every stage in my life of, like, the Marine Corps, my wedding, like my children being born, their birthdays,
Yes,
like anything.
I remember
Yeah.
being there.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Pretty much everything
Yeah.
where like he was like the first person that was to know from my side, you know.
Because I had to steer his daughter because she was the ring bearer. She had the little rings.
Yeah.
And she ran to his mom.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, sweetie, this way, this way. She's like, where? I'm like, go to mom, go to mom. And she's like, oh, because she was very little at the time. Very, very little.
I think she was like only maybe freshly learned how to walk. So
she
yeah.
Just learned how to walk, and I remember she would have me hold up her arms and walk her around for hours. Hours. If I let go, she screamed.
Oh my god.
It's okay. So yeah, dude. It's definitely been that. We've been so intertwined in each other's lives. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Oh shit, dude. The reminiscent is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Okay, on to the next one. Who would have a better survival instinct if lost in the jungle? In the jungle.
In the jungle. Best gun from Battlefield 3.
Exactly, man. The J&G.
J&G, yeah.
Yes. That's a tough one. Just because, like, you know, I'm no stranger to camping and out in the wild, if you will. But at the same time, you know, I don't know in a competing sense. Like, if we were on Naked and Afraid,
oh god,
it was just you versus me. You know what I mean? Like, would I be able to compete with that? You know?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. Boom. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right. I say you just because I'm like, you know, I don't really have that much, I guess, roughing it experience, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, on survival training and things like that. Sure. You know, I could survive out there. I'm not directionally challenged.
Right.
So I know I'd survive, but if it came down to like emergency situations and, you know, figuring out things, I think you would have more knowledge on that. Why do you say yourself?
I would say myself just because that is something that was included in like our Marine Corps training was land navigation, stuff like that. I'm not saying I'd be like Bear Grylls or anything like that. Cause like, the part that would be very hard for me would be trapping and like, hunting for like meat. But like, as far as like surviving, as long as I have a good sense of direction, which I mean I always have because the sun will always be around, right? Unless I'm in somewhere where there's no sun, but that's different.
Right.
I'll have some type of direction, and then from there, I've just had enough experience where, as for you, like I know you said as well, because I remember we've gone camping together, so it's not like you would be completely lost and afraid, but it's just one of those things where like I know sometimes you can be scatterbrained, so like
I get it, you know. It's like, that's why I specifically said, like, in those emergency situations, you'd be able to collect yourself, know what to do, and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do. You know, his leadership skills would show in that regard.
Right.
But, I mean, if everything's hunky-dory, calm, and chill, then you know, I got it. I'm like, okay, you know, we'll go this way and that, da-da-da. But, and definitely in those emergency situations where it's like, oh, shit, you know, fecal matter is hitting the fan. we gotta, you know, buckle down. This is what we gotta do. So that's why I definitely said you. All right. I kind of know the next question. It is, what is the, or who would have the best survival instincts in a desert?
Oh, that's a good one.
In a desert, like a jungle's one thing.
Yeah.
Because you know,
J&G.
like, we live in California, so we are no stranger to forests and, you know, wildlife of that nature.
Yeah.
When it comes to deserts, man, we kind of live in a desert, but it's more of just like a city desert kind of thing, you know. But like an actual desert where there's just nothing. Woo! It's just heat and cactus.
Okay.
Sweat between your butt cheeks. All Are you ready?
I am.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
3, 2, 1. Oh, bam.
Bam. Okay,
All
yeah.
right. Why you say yourself?
I'd say myself just because like it's less with like normal land navigation, but I was stationed out in 29 Palms, California, which is a desert, and so just having like a little bit more preparation where obviously it's not completely barren, but understanding that at night it's probably going to be fucking cold as all get out, and then during the day it's going to be the exact 180, and then, you know, like mirages. There's not really much for, you know, desert navigation, but like landmarks, all that stuff kind of still applies. So,
Yeah.
just there, and like I don't know exactly how much experience you have with like deserts, that kind of stuff either. So that's why I was just like,
That's
oh,
the thing,
myself.
I don't.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like my grandparents on my mom's side. You know, my grandpa he's taken me hunting a few times.
Yeah.
And, you know, showed me how to use a compass, showed me how to, you know, mark trees as landmarks to, you know, help your way back so you don't get lost. All this kind of, because obviously, you know, when you're chasing an animal, you're far off of your path or, you know, your designated trail.
Right.
And so, you know, you use certain tactics and stuff like that. In a desert, though, you ain't got trees, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you got a rock over there, and then the same looking rock, but it's just over there.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I would be sitting there, like, with my thumb up my ass, trying to figure out where the fuck north, south, east, and west is.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. Like, I would sit there and just be like, that fucking meme, you know, dude holding the coat, and he's just looking around and shit. I would not know.
Yeah.
I 100% would not know. Like, in a foresty kind of situation, sure. Yeah, I got some experience there. I know to some degree what I'm doing. Again, like he said, I'm no Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
But I have prerequisite knowledge of that. But in a desert, I'm lost. I would be like, I'd be holding on to this man's, you know, thing like, Oni-chan. Like, bro, help me get out of here, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. So that's why I choose you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has some kind of prerequisite knowledge, whether it be a little or a lot. It's more than me.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I got none.
It's definitely a little, because I still get confused on where the North Star is, and that's how you would. That would be your main bet, because obviously during the day you can travel, but you know the sun's gonna be mowing you down.
Yeah.
There's wind. You're not gonna know where your tracks are because of that wind, stuff like that. And you know, if there's sandstorms, different story. But at night, when it's a lot cooler and you do have the ability to move without, you know, being in the blistering sun and burning to death, you would need the stars, and that's where like my knowledge starts to lack. Is like I always get confused on where I'm looking at the sky at that point, right? That's why I always said like the sun would help me out, but the stars is where it would really count, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't even think to move during the night. I would just be thinking like, yeah, during the day, let's just slug it out, you know what I mean? Killing our water and shit. You know, like that right there. That proves it empirically that I would die in the desert. Like, let's just go right there. You know, I wouldn't even think of that. Oh, man. Okay. Let's get on to our next one. Ooh, who do you feel is better at lying? Oh, that one's a tough one. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Oh shit! Why do you say me?
We both picked you. I would just say it has to do with like your nonchalant attitude, because, you know, you say it's true. Like it's easy to read your emotions on your face. However, it's also, you're very consistent on how you like say things, and so I think it's very hard to tell. It would be very hard to tell like when you're lying, when you're trying to like trick someone, stuff like that, because
voice inflection.
there's not normal telltale signs of someone that's like lying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I say myself because I have the gift of the gab, dude. I can just talk and talk and talk, and I can put it in such a concise way to where it sounds extremely intelligent, and it sounds like it's all, you know, lined up perfectly. And you'll sit there and, you know, I'll tell you, yeah, the sky is blue because of the chemical compound of X, Y, and Z off of the ocean and this and that. And you're just like, you know what? Yeah, the sky probably is fucking blue.
Yeah.
Or green. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that kind of makes sense. What the fuck? I've been lied to. The government.
The government.
Yeah,
It's in the lights.
Right. And so, dude, I just know me. Like, I just know that I have the gift of the gab. I'm a very convincing person, and it's funny because a lot of people think that I'm lying to them about certain things, and they'll either Google them or look them up, and they're just like, "Why? How the fuck do you know that?" And I'm just like, "Hey, man, I scroll all day. And, I'm just useless information on TikTok all fucking day." And so, but yeah. That's how I see it. I look at it like, yeah, dude, I have the gift of the gab, and I think that's why the podcast has kind of been as successful as it is, because I'm just able to talk and put myself in a concise manner to where people understand and are able to get value from it, apparently. So, okay, let's get on to our next one. Oh, okay, who would make a better spy? Oh.
Okay. Spy?
Yeah, a better espionage agent.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. Really?
Really? Okay.
Why do you say me?
Because, I mean, we just talked about it. You have the gift of the gab. I feel like if you had to play a certain character or, like, be someone that's, like, an infiltrator, it'd be hard to detect. Okay. Unless it was something, like, very, like, niche or nuanced that, like, another country did. Yeah. Like, it'd be hard to detect that you would be, like, a spy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Especially because I like to argue, so it would take one instance of, like, wait a minute, this guy argue a little bit too much.
Like, it's like, that's not
him. That's not Russian. Yeah. Get him.
Okay. I agree with you on that, but the thing is I couldn't be a spy, and I've said this before, because I would want the fucking credit. Like, spies have to, kind of just, like, in the dark.
Yeah.
They don't exist. They let other people kind of take the credit, whether it's, like, a militia group or whatever. I'd be like, nah, bro, I did that shit. That was me. Get the fuck out of here. You stupid militia group. You guys didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Hard work. I'd be like that. I hate that I am like that, but I like the limelight, I guess you would say.
And that's a good point, too. Like, I'd be more okay with them not knowing that I did the work. Exactly. But at the same time, if someone got information wrong, again, I would like to argue with them. 100%. And I would expose myself doing that, dude. I'd be like, no, you fucking idiot. I was there. I mean, damn it. Damn it.
I was there. I planted the ball.
Oh my god! Oh, shit. You think these ninja diffusers came from someone else? It was me.
Right.
Me. I was all gillied up.
I toppled the coup.
Yeah. Oh fuck, dude.
Oh shit.
Those Templars had no idea.
I was the Assassine.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. And then
shit. But yeah.
Could not be a spy in real life, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we could either. Yeah. Neither one of us could be spies. I think we would have. Okay, we'd have the competence and the ability to get the job done.
Yeah.
It's the aftermath of the job.
Yeah.
We'd be sitting there thinking like, nah, dude, that was fucking us.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like, we did that shit. Like, it'd be a thing where I would probably leave a calling card. I'd be that type of.
Or like a signature, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I would leave something, and I would just be like, yeah, that was me. The Domsky murder.
Yeah.
Everyone shot in the face.
I don't know. If you're like a spy or something, like, let us know in the comments what you think.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys work in, an intelligence agency or something like that, let us know, like, what entails.
Like, how do you guys, like, just hold out and not, like, no, that was me. No.
How do you see this shit on the news unfold?
Yeah.
Knowing the background of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've extensively looked into the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
And
it was Mason, by the way.
It was Mason.
The numbers, he didn't know what he was doing. He killed the president.
He killed him, definitely. and so it's one of those things where it's like, In a lot of the research that I've done and stuff like that, I truly don't feel that it was Lee Harvey Oswald. It was actually a Israeli informant that actually did it, and he plays that kind of spy role. Jack Rubenstein, if you want to name Jack Rubenstein, he was part of the Jewish mafia in ties with the CIA, as well as he was a Mossad asset right after that, and also playing a part in the assassination of MLK as well. This is all verified and released information. I'm not conspiracy theorying anything. This is confirmed information that we already know, that Jack Rubenstein was actually involved with JFK's assassination, in being close ties with Lee Harvey Oswald, and being there, putting him in the right places to be framed and looked at as a communist, and to be looked at as a madman after the president and all that kind of stuff. And so I look at it like, we can put him in the place of taking that final kill shot. And so with all of the evidence, we can put him in that position. And if you can, he did it, and really nobody knows. Lee Harvey Oswald's name is the name that is he's the guy that killed the president. But when you look through the documents, when you look through back in history and stuff, and you see and you follow this guy Jack Rubenstein, and you see that, and you see Jack Ruby, he was the one that did it. And for him to kind of be so coy and be like, yeah, I just fucking domed the president, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I had a fucking involvement in killing MLK, the fucking biggest black leader. You know, it's like, holy shit, you didn't say anything? I would love to ask him that question. I'm like, bro, how can you be so nonchalant about it and not say anything about it?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So, yeah, dude, yeah. I would encourage everybody to look into, that kind of stuff, especially the JFK assassination, because it does involve espionage and spies and informants and all that cool stuff. I love it. There is actually a YouTuber, I wish I could remember his name, that he's been looking it up for 20 or so years. I cannot remember his name at the moment. I'd have to look it up, but I'll try to get his name because, like I said, I've learned everything from him, and he's been researching it for the past 20, even 30 years. Dude has all the names and documents and pictures, all kinds of stuff related to it. Dude knows what car they were driving, what clothes they were wearing, where they were at specific times and points of the day. He can map out from the year of 1960 all the way to the year of 1963 when JFK was assassinated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then he can go even further back and go through Lee Harvey Oswald's childhood, him dealing with his mom, all the places that they've lived, the schools that he went to, that there were actually body doubles of him, and where those body doubles were. And
what
so this has been,
Hey yo, what the fuck?
This has been a big psyop thing from the beginning, and his mom was in on it. He was the only one that wasn't in on it. Imagine if your life was an entire stage.
Yeah.
And you were just died. Everything is curated to happen to you. You know what I mean? Him joining the military, him going to Russia, him, being into Marxism, him coming back, having a Russian wife and all this kind of stuff. And everything that just kind of led him to think what he thought. It was all curated for him they just funneled him to it. And I was like, bro, that's insanity.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Insanity. Yeah, dude. But yeah, I wish I knew the dude's name off the top of my head, if I'm being honest with you, because I'd love for you guys to be able to look him up, and I cannot remember his name though.
You'll remember it, and you can just throw it in the description or something like that, right?
Yeah. I'll try to remember his name. But yeah, we'll move on though. Sorry, I kind of went into my deep dive hole of that. Okay, on to our next one. Who is most likely to get thrown out of a club?
Oh.
I think we know.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Yeah. My boy likes confrontation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mix that with some alcohol and some bitches.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna have to get up in there and fight with him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be in the alleyway with him. Like, yo, let's go. Like 2v2, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean? So, yeah, most definitely.
So I had to retire. The scene's just not for me anymore, you know.
Yeah.
Especially with nowadays, everyone's got like a fucking extended clip, switch, binary, whatever the fuck, you know.
Oh, 100%.
Everyone's fucking ready to fucking have 6 beams on your forehead
Yeah.
at the moment's notice, you know.
Dude, like, yeah, nobody fucking fights anymore.
No one.
Nobody
Nope.
fights anymore. It is all like.
And I know you guys have seen those videos where it's like as soon as someone gets a gun, they'd be itching for any reason whatsoever to pull it out.
Yeah.
At all, you know? And that's like one of the things where I'm like, all right, like I get not being afraid of like confrontation, but at the same time, like when you know 2 + 2 = 4, why are you going to try to combat that? You know, you're not going to go out there and be like, oh, you know what, dude? Like, I'll just fight anyone on the street. No one's going to kill me. Like, that's just ignoring the facts of like, all right, like, I know people can have any type of preparation. You go to the gym or like you're big as fuck, whatever the case may be. You just never know, like, especially when street fights have no rules, nothing, right?
Yeah. My philosophy is I don't care how big you are, a 9mm ain't stopping you. A 9mm, you're not stopping a 9mm.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it goes. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I've adapted to the YNs.
Yeah.
I look at it like, bro, hey, if you're gonna be out here in these streets, man, you gotta meet force with force. At this point, if I'm being honest with you, I did look up the JFK researcher I was talking about. His name is Corey Hughes. All right.
Okay.
Look up Corey Hughes, and everything that I just talked about with JFK will all make sense. Trust me, that guy is most knowledgeable in all of that. All right. Nothing is conspiracy theory that came out of my mouth. It's all fact and true. Corey Hughes has all the information. He's got time, dates, clothing, where they were at, cars, all that. But yeah. To that though, yeah, it's why I stopped really being confrontational with people because you never know, man. People don't want to fight anymore. Like back in my day, we'll get the bifocals and the cane out real quick. Back in my day, we fought, bro. Like we had an issue with somebody, we fucking threw down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just what it was. It was like, bro, I beat you up, you beat me up. We kind of walk away from it like, all right, bro, you know, it is what it is. And so that was that. But nowadays, bro, people want to put you 6 feet under for walking in front of them.
Yeah,
It's
anything.
So, you know, and that's why I was so surprised that you don't own a gun. And I was just like, dude, like it's at this point, it's a necessity.
Yeah.
You know, like as dangerous as I feel, you know, about guns and stuff like that. Because look, when I bought my first gun, I was so hesitant because I look at guns as having the ultimate power.
Yeah.
Having a tool that can literally take somebody's life, I feel, is a power that I did not want to have or even be able to wield for a long time. Then I started seeing just, you know, the way the world was going and, you know, through Trump's first administration, just kind of how electrically charged people were. And, you know, people are just committing violence and things like that because of political beliefs and views and all that stuff. And so for me, I was just like, dude, if I'm going to protect me and my family, I have to get a gun.
Yeah.
I have to wield that power. And I went to a class. I took I think a 2-week class on gun safety. I made sure I understand a gun inside and out. I can take apart my Glock and put it all back together. I know how to, you know, properly hold it, properly wield it, you know, all of that stuff. And then I bought my Glock and I was just like, okay, I know how to properly use this thing. I won't use this recklessly. I won't take somebody's life, you know, or even my own by accident, you know what I mean? And so that was something that I was just like afraid of for the longest time. Dude, I can't lie to you, but I think even especially now, right now in today's climate, it's like, dude, you need to protect yourself, and I think a gun is the only way to do it, man. Yeah,
and I mean, I feel like you're absolutely right on that. Where for myself, right, obviously I've disenacted like a plethora of weaponry in the Marine Corps, and so it's I think it takes that kind of mindset in order to own a weapon. I just, for myself, I'm like, dude, I hope I never actually get put in that situation where I need to take someone's life. So, like, I know for myself, I do want to, but at the same time, I haven't brought myself to actually do it because then I'm just that step closer to actually doing it if something comes up. So, you know, but there's also the caveat of, like, you know, I would never ever let the opportunity for one of my family members to lose their life over my uncomfortability with the idea of taking someone else's. So
100%.
it's really fucked up, but like at the same time, it's just something I haven't brought myself to do yet.
But see, I think anybody in the audience would agree with that. Like, they would have no reservations taking somebody's life if that meant saving the life of their family member or someone that they deeply care about. Like I said in last week's episode, like, I would take a bullet for this man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'd fucking dome a dude if it meant that he lived. Like, that's just the way it goes. And I think anybody would do that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is a very logical assumption when you are seeing a confrontation and, you know, you see your boy, like, they're just wailing on you and it seems like they're going for your life. It's not just they beat you up. Like, if it's a one-on-one fight and my boy gets beat up, it's like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if it's a thing where he's beating him up to the point where it's like, dude's on the ground and you just keep fucking hitting him, yeah, I'd probably shoot you in the back. Like, get the fuck off of him. I'm not going to sit there and try to combat you. No, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're trying to take his fucking life.
Yeah.
Like you beat him up. It is what it is. We can walk away from that.
Yeah.
That's fine. You know, we walked away from the conflict. It was what it does. But the fact that you're continuing and trying to take his life at this point because you're so enraged, I'm going to put a bullet in your back.
Yeah.
That's just what's going to happen, dude. You know, and I think anybody would feel that same sentiment.
I definitely get you. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just not something I'd be wanting to like risk or whatever.
Oh,
so
100%.
I get what you're coming from.
Yeah. Like I said, I always recommend it to people, especially if they have kids and stuff. I'm just like, look, man, take a 2-week class, you know, and obviously you don't need that. But I always recommend it to people. I'm just like, take a 2-week class, get comfortable. They give you mock guns. You know, you put it together a plastic, it's a plastic and metal, but the law enforcement uses it as training weapons. So it's like a blue polymer base with like a metal slide, and you put it together. And then they also give you like dummy rounds and stuff, so you can kind of get used to like a bit of recoil. So it's like they're just blanks. You're just firing blanks, but it still has like recoil and action and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it just gets you comfortable with the idea of, you know, holding a gun, wielding the weapon, understanding it to a level of like a military man. You know, they take apart their weapons, clean it, and put it back together. You know, I don't know if you guys are still timed on that. Do they still time you like that?
No, we never. Not like as like a requirement. I mean, we would time ourselves, but you know, it was never like really a requirement.
And I only ask that because you see that in TV shows.
Yeah.
Where they have a stopwatch and they're like, okay, put the rifle together, and dude's putting the M16 together. And
Okay. Yeah. Well, so you're right. Actually, I forgot about that. For specific training, right? Like for the initial trainings on the weapon, they do have a time limit that you need to be able to disassemble and reassemble the like rifle or machine gun or whatever the case may be. But after that, you know, you just disassemble and then clean it at your leisure and then reassemble it. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Because like I said, I only ask because for one, I don't know, and two, I always see it in like TV, so I'm just like, I don't know if that's real or if that's just for the Hollywood, but
it's a competency thing where it's like if you can disassemble, remember where everything goes, then reassemble it in a certain time frame, then it means you definitely know your weapon inside and out. You know, so
and like I said, even in that class, they do teach you that.
Yeah,
and that's why I know how to take apart my Glock and put it all back together. Just because I was able to be comfortable. And that was the platform that they used. If they used a different platform, I probably wouldn't own a Glock right now. I'd probably own something similar to that platform.
Right.
But since, you know, a mock Glock is what they used, I went ahead and just went with that one.
A mock Glock. That's good.
Oh, man. All right. Let's get to the next one here. All right. Let's see. What was the last one? Thrown out of a club, right?
Yeah.
Thrown out of a club. Actually, that was the last one. That was the last one. Yeah, that was the last one of our quiz. So, if you guys enjoyed the quiz, definitely let us know down in the comments. If you want to do that quiz with your friends, definitely do it and let us know how you guys did. And yeah, I would say for the most part, we pretty much had mostly the same answers.
Yeah, I would say
I
so.
think only maybe like 3 or 4 times we had different answers. But
Yeah.
for the most part, we had the same answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys definitely let us know what you thought about the best friend quiz down in the comments. We'll get through announcements and then get into you guys' scenarios, all right?
All right.
So, patreon.com/MyNasal Podcast, get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show, like these lovely people did for today. $3 a month get you exclusive get you access to over 100 hours of extra episode content over there. So definitely check that out. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys have been absolutely killing it. Appreciate you so much, especially on these Sunday episodes. You guys are absolutely loving the Sunday episodes. I think they love it for one, that you're on the show, and then two, that they're 2-hour-long episodes, and they just get, a lot of good, juicy episode. So definitely keep downloading the episodes, as well as rating us 5 stars on your preferred platform. If you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of that is free, and it helps out so very much, okay? Pretty soon, we'll have links for, him and his channel, or not his channel, but like his Instagram or whatever it is he wants to plug very soon. So look out for that when he gets all that ready. And then, yeah, that should be it. Any other house cleaning we need to do?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Let's get on into our first scenario. Okay, this one is, what would you do? Because that might answer what I do.
Okay.
So we have some text message threads here. And I believe this is her. I believe she's the green bubbles and he is right? Is that how text messages work? What would be her? I would think that these would be her, no? Or would those?
Who sent in the scenario? She did, right?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the green is her then.
Okay, all right. So she is saying, I am sorry. I took a hit of your vape. Mine tastes like shit. Okay. Then this other person, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, says, guess you shouldn't have lost the blue one, but it's whatever. I'm taking you off my city card, and once I pay off your Schleeze card, you're on your own. She says, why? I didn't mean to lose it. You act like I've never lost anything. The other person says, because I don't want you paying for stuff on my credit, nor putting purchases I don't agree with on any of my cards. You can fend for yourself. Damn, a little bit of Riga energy. How am I supposed to do that? You said you were taking care of everything. I think this is her boyfriend. I haven't purchased anything you haven't agreed with on your credit. Where is this coming from? He says, I don't need to risk you being on my credit anyways. She then says, we are married. Your income is my only income as a stay-at-home mom. He then says, yeah, for essentials such as roof over your head, paying for your car, insurance, food and water, anything beyond that is on you. She then says, I thought we were building both of our credits to get into a nicer house together. It didn't seem like a good idea to use my credit on a rash decision when all of a sudden yours wasn't right on their paperwork. It was weird. They just wanted more money out of us. I don't do anything beyond that. He says, yeah, well, you're no longer on my city card. She says, how do I get gas to pick up the kids? He says, there will be like $30 a week on the Discover card, though. Thumbs up. I don't know. Figure it out, he says. She then says, this feels like financial abuse. I didn't agree to this. He says, it probably is, but I need to protect my credit just in case you go crazy.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yo,
what the fuck?
She's like, yo, this is financial abuse. And he was like, you damn right it is.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
God damn it.
Bruh.
Yo. Okay, there's more, though.
Okay.
The juice thickens.
Yay.
Okay, so she said this is financial abuse. She didn't agree to it. He says probably is. I need to protect my credit just in case you go crazy. She then says, why would I go crazy? What? He says, I don't know, just in case. She then says, in case what? He says, gotta be safe. I don't know. I just said, I don't know. In case of anything. She then says, I think you need to figure it out because I don't think that's right nor okay. He then says, I did. I think you're the one that needs figuring it out. She says, I am not sure what I'm supposed to be figuring out. This is an awful thing to do. He then says, just matching your energy is all, no shame, no guilt. Wow. Wow. Okay. She then says, matching my energy would be bending over backwards, trying to kiss my ass. I don't know what you're matching, but it's not the energy I've been putting out. He then says, well, I'm not going to go around losing my stuff over you, and I'm protecting myself like you are. She then says, you're married to me. That's not protecting yourself. It's being withholding. You act as if I don't do anything, like I'm literally worth $30 a week to you. How am I protecting myself? He then says, oh, so my credit is your credit, but your credit is only yours. That's kind of how it works, pimp. You know, my money is our money and her money is hers, bro. She then says, I have no savings, no 401k, nothing. That's mine. He says, crazy. Yo!
God,
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
This man is diabolical.
He
She was
is.
just like, oh, you know, I have nothing. I don't have retirement, 401k. And he's just like, fuck for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bruh. She then says, no, you just went in with a plan and were okay with someone else besides you or I changing that plan. He then says, yeah, you've dug this grave. You'll never change my mind.
What the fuck?
She then says, facts. She then says, once you and I make a decision, I want us to stick to it until we discuss it again, not you and someone else. He then says, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my
She's smart.
God. So yeah, that I believe that is the end of that is the end of that. So what do you think of that text thread? She is asking pretty much, what would you do in that situation if you were her? Because what you say might be what she does. You're a married man. You kind of understand this dynamic a lot more. You know, I would say your dynamic with your wife is pretty similar. She's a stay-at-home mom. She kind of takes care of kids. You're the breadwinner.
Yeah, I mean, so you're 100% right. And in the Marine Corps, it's actually against the UCMJ to financially abuse your partner, right? Putting them on allowance. It's specifically outlined where you'll then be subject to all types of punishments if you try to do that to your partner, which why would you do that, you know?
100%.
I couldn't imagine like, yeah, till death do us part. And then you're like, all right, but you only get $30 a week.
Yeah.
Damn it. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know,
You
and
can only go out on Tuesdays.
I mean, you know, I hate to say it, because it's kind of one of those things where it sounds like, to me, you found out a little too late that you married a weak man, and he's like, well, I don't want her ruining my credit, where it's like, all right, well, if you got, it sounds like she's very open to having discussions, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's not like unless we're not seeing the whole side of it, right, where you have purchased some crazy stuff beforehand, and he's like, dude, my fucking credit is taking a tank, dude, and you just keep buying stuff, and you're like, I'm just a girl, la 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 la. You know what I mean?
He did mention he needing to pay off one of her cards.
Yeah.
So maybe this card you kind of went a little bananas crazy on.
Right, right.
You know, so like in that situation, like
yeah.
In that situation where, you know, if this credit card is maxed out, all right, this credit card's like maxed the fuck out and it's just maxed out on some bullshit, then yes, I would probably have this kind of reaction.
Right.
Because I would look at it like, okay, she is not physically responsible. I can't let her just have a credit card.
Yeah.
I need to kind of limit her to like $30 a week for a bit until I get the finances situated. I pay off that card. I pay off whatever debt that she's accumulated outside of that card.
Yeah.
And then I can get you back into, back on my credit cards and all that kind of stuff. But you're going to have to sit with this $30 limit for a minute.
Yeah.
That way I know how much is going out. I know how much you're spending. We're saving. I can do what I got to do. So maybe he's coming from that position.
Right.
I don't know, though.
But that's like the thing, too, where, say, in the event, right, you had the credit card prior or something of that nature, and then out of nowhere, you kind of just started, like, racking up debt without telling him, and then he finds out, and he's like, now I have to pay for all this shit?
Yeah.
And we talked about it in the last episode, where it's like, are your actions and how you're being and how you're supporting him worth that X amount of money? You know what I mean? And it's like, if you aren't providing the same amount of value with, like, she said, is she a stay-at-home mom or just, so stay-at-home mom, right? If these are, like, essentials that you need for your children, your life, whatever the case may be, then I get it, but if it is just, like, erroneous purchases, and you're being irresponsible, and it seems like it's kind of out of nowhere, then it kind of sounds like you guys didn't have a conversation that you needed to have beforehand. However, on the caveat, right, actually, I don't even know how you max out a credit card on accident. So, like,
yeah, and I think that's where he's coming from. I think it's a thing where she maxed this credit card out. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I got to limit you to $30. But see, now look, okay. Everything that I said as far as the maxing the credit card and, limiting her to $30 so that way he can then take care of the debt and then any debt that she has outside of that credit card and stuff like that. My thing is he's communicating correctly or incorrectly.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's where this story is breaking down the most, is the fact that he's not communicating. Like, we saw in the text messages how he was talking to her.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, damn, sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's not being a leader.
No, it's not.
You know
it's
what I
not.
mean? That's not being a leader at
That's
all.
my way or the highway, and that shit is stupid.
Yeah, like, bro, you need to, like, I get your concerns. I get that if she maxes credit card out and she's fucking up your credit and she's fucking up the financial situation in general for you and the kids, it's a thing where you need to be able to communicate that in a way that she'll understand.
Yeah.
And be able to retain that information and understand, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong and this is what I need to do to, or these are the sacrifices I need to be within in order to get where we're going. And if he would have told her, because this is the way he told her. He said, all right, bitch, you're on $30 a week and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
That's what he pretty much said.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, well, look, I need to take you off the city card because you have this other card that I'm still paying off. You're putting a lot of purchases on this card.
Yeah.
I need you to be limited to a $30 a week budget.
Yeah.
Okay? If you need a little more money, that's fine. We can negotiate that. But I need to know that you're only spending X amount of money every week so I can focus on paying this off.
Yeah.
Once this is paid off and this is taken care of and then your debt outside of that, then we can talk about getting you back on my cards and we can have a conversation about you using my cards less egregiously.
Yeah.
And so if he went about it like that, she would, I think, understand a little more and be like, okay, I see why you're putting me on allowance. I see why you're cutting me back. I see why you're doing this. Okay, that makes sense. You're right. She can look at her leader and think, okay, he has a plan. He is enacting that plan, and I need to follow that said plan.
Yeah.
And it's this $30 allowance thing is not enough. Is not forever. And so, but you just sitting there being like, bitch, you're on $30 a week. And you're like it. Bro, she's not gonna sit there and be like, okay, sure.
Yeah, that's stupid. You're not communicating. You're not, and like that's like exactly. You couldn't have said it any better. Where, if you guys are having that communication where not even necessarily like I need you to do this, where it's like we need to agree on this because it's one of those things where if you're spending more money on these credit cards, racking up more debt than he has to come in, you're not like, that's not a good position to be sitting in where your debt outweighs what he can bring in, And if you're not understanding that, then like we said, a conversation needs to be had. It sounds like he had a conversation with someone else, and they were like, "You need to lay down the law, bro. Like, you need to fucking just cut her the fuck off, and like, just don't tell her anything. Just tell her she's gonna fucking have to accept it, you know."
Yeah,
and then that's where he came in with the fucking trash ass communication that he had. But that's he just needs to do better with communicating, enacting the plan that he has, and you got to understand that, like, because it does sound like you are spending more than what he's making, and that's like the problem, you know. So what you got to do is, you know, take a step back. It sounds harsh, right? Take a step back, move the emotions to the side, and then understand, like, does this financially make better sense to put us in a better spot?
Yeah, even though
for a short time.
Even though he said it in such a harsh way, we agree.
Yeah.
We 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
He said it in a very shitty way. He needs to learn how to communicate with you a little better.
Yes.
Because it's not hard to learn communication between you and your partner. And you were 100% right that he did have a conversation with somebody else. Why? Because I can read it verbatim. She said that, no, you just went in with a plan and were okay with someone else besides you and I changing that plan.
Yeah,
so you were right.
Yeah.
You called it out perfectly that he had a conversation with somebody else. I don't know if it was a buddy, a coworker, whatever.
Yeah.
And homeboy was just like, oh, yeah, you don't give her the 1-2 wop wop.
Yeah.
Tell her what it is.
Stupid.
You know what I mean? And so then he walked in there.
It's probably a single friend, too.
Probably.
Yeah, a single friend. He's like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, but you should do this.
Right.
And then he came
out.
out.
Laid since now.
Yeah. And then he came in and started talking to you like that.
Yeah,
so
because he misinterprets all the red pill rhetoric.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that because, look, I'm a proponent for red pill content, 100%. But I think a lot of guys misconstrued that content so very much that it pisses me off to the point where they think it's about, like, being rude to women and just yelling at them and this and that. Nah, bro. It's about you being that guy so fucking much to the point where she follows your lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she just falls into her submissiveness. She falls into her feminine. She just that because you're that guy. You can communicate. You got your money on point. You have your looks on point. You're a well-rounded man. All of that stuff. But a lot of guys sit there and they think like, no, it's all about bashing women, fuck bitches, and yeah, they're all whores, and you know what I mean? And it's just like, dude, no, like that's not what it's about. But I get it. That's exactly what it is. It's a lot of dudes who get no pussy.
Yeah.
And they sit there and they think like because they consume this content, they're more of a man all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, bruh, no. And then you as a married man listening to this guy is stupid.
Stupid.
Like, what are you doing, bro? So, like I said, we're not taking away the fact that he fucked up on his end of communication. But there is a point where you kind of need to meet your husband in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, and be like, okay, you know what? He's not saying that I'm just worth $30 and all this stuff. It's a thing where I spent a lot of money egregiously, and I know that I did. You may not feel that it is, but you got to understand, he may not look at it that way. He may look at, the plants you got at Target is useless. You know, he's like, dude, how are the plants from Target, helping us survive and helping our kids? You know, how is the fucking plastic little tubs that you bought, going to change anything?
Yeah.
So he's just looking at it like, I'm the only one making money, and I need to be smart about that money, so that way, we can continue this. You staying at home, you being able to take care of the kids, and we living off of one income. Like he just has to balance that out, and so that's where I think you need to work on it for yourself. Meet him in the middle, and have that conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Michael said, have that conversation of like, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what we need to do, and I get what you're saying. And I'll do it, and obviously, again, point out his faults too. Like, hey, I don't like the way that you, said this and said that. Like, it's crazy, blah, blah, but I'm going to, like he said, put it to the side.
To the
side. And just, work it out. Because I'm a big proponent of working out relationships, man. I think people don't really work it out as much as they should. Sure, are there situations where it's like too far gone? 100%. But majority of situations, it's like, all right, look, man, if you put your pride aside a little bit, we could talk this out,
Yeah.
So, all right. That was a good one. That was a good one to start off. All right, on to our next one. girlfriend wanted to involve another guy. Bruh,
Yeah.
I would be gone.
Yep.
Immediately. All right. I was in 10th. Maybe the year was 2019, 2020. There was a girl. We were in tuition together. She was very shy and innocent. We started to talk and develop feelings. I was a popular guy and she was literally invisible. We were in a relationship for about 2 months. Then one day a guy from my neighborhood, he was not from my school and was a senior. He approached me and said, "Leave that girl, I like her." I stood my ground and he left. Next day I asked her, does she know him? She said, yes, he's my friend. I told her the incident and asked her to stop being in contact with him. She repeatedly said, I'll handle it. He's not going to be a problem. She didn't. Days passed and I started to get calls from that guy, like threatening calls and I'll leave her, threatening calls and I'll leave her this and that. Okay. I knew the guy, his type of local goon. He's a type of local goon, and I didn't want to pick a fight for this silly issue. I'm a family guy. I don't want to be in this mess. I told her either deal with him or we're done. She said angrily, we're done. Then after 2 days, damn, she chose him over you, nigga. Oh.
Red
She
flag.
belongs to the streets.
Let her go, bro. Then after 2 days, she realized her mistake and she literally walked behind me for 2 months in school to talk with her. I never talked to her back. And what people thought was that I cheated on her and she's a good girl and I'm a bad guy. This affected her 10th marks. Also, she barely passed where I scored a 75%. Now a mutual friend of ours told me she was in desperation and doing bad things now, graduating from a low-level college. So he is asking, was it his fault that the relationship ended the way that it did?
I would say yes, but that's like a good thing.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
she was like, okay, we're done. And then he was like, oh, like the other dude was like, oh, you guys are done? I really don't want you, dude. I just kind of wanted to beef. And then she's like, what? No, dude. Oh, damn it, dude. Fuck. And then she tried to come back to you. Now she's in a bad way because she's running from accountability like they all do.
Yeah.
Like they all do. And it's like, good.
Yeah.
Good. Let the pain sting through her, let the hate flow through.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, let the pain flow
through her, yes.
Indubitably.
And that's why I'm like, I'm not sure exactly what it is you're asking, because it sounds like you stood your ground. You said you're a family guy. You said it's important that this kind of shit does not happen to you, where yeah, exactly. There's plenty of women out there better than her that will do exactly what it is you just said.
Yeah.
And you literally walk through the steps of vetting her the correct way, making sure that you didn't have to deal with that bullshit, and then she weeded herself out. Like,
yeah.
you're absolutely right.
Like let's
Yeah.
She chose another guy over you, bro.
Yes.
The fact
Yeah.
that you were like, hey, I don't like this dude.
She belongs to the streets.
Stop talking to him. She was like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna stop talking to him. And, like, bro,
Yeah.
that right there, even before everything that he just
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
which is valid, 1,000%. But like, your mind should have been made up the moment she chose another guy over you.
Yeah.
Like, that right there would have just been like, cool, done.
Yeah.
Peace and chicken grease, baby girl. We're done here, because I'm telling you, man, like, you let a girl choose you over you, or choose another guy over you once, like, she's gonna do it over everything else, man.
Yeah. Like this will eliminate a lot of next questions, right?
Yeah.
If you're in a situation where you tell your girl, like, hey, this kind of worries me, and then they say, like, don't worry about it, he's just a friend, or you have plans and she's like, oh, someone else hit me up and I haven't seen them in a while, so I'm going to go with them instead. Or they're like, this person is giving me all this advice. I think we should do this instead. It's like all these factors of them like listening to other men, not to say that it's impossible for them to get good advice, right? But if it's something that's like bothering you and sticking out as a red flag, it more than likely is a red flag.
Yeah.
You need to just be like confident in breaking it off with them, right?
1,000.
What like in this scenario where you're like, all right, dude said he likes you and he wants me to back off. You're like, well, he's just a friend. Okay, you like the attention, you're gone. Bye.
You're facts.
Get out of here.
Facts.
And that's as soon as you determine another dude likes your girl and she's fine with them still being in your life, it doesn't matter if like, oh, you still get it at the end of the night, or like, I don't even really talk to him like that, or like he's just talking to himself in my DMs, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. It's all there for their mind to be like, dude, I like this in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Because
keeping this in the back pocket.
right, there's plenty of things where like, think about anything in your life that you want blocked out of your life. Are you going to keep it there where it's like, oh, it's just not a big deal? Like, you know, like
You're going to get rid of it.
you're going to get rid of it. You're going to destroy it. You're going to make sure you don't ever have to deal with that. And the people around you don't. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to keep a trash bag full of dirty diapers in your house and be like, oh, well, you know, my kid has to shit, you know, I'll just keep it in the house. Like, no, dude, like you're going to get rid of that shit and like no one's going to smell it. You're not going to have guests come over and smell that shit. It's the exact same thing where like, if this shit is bothering you and then she's like, just don't worry about it, dude. You're like, I won't, and I won't worry about you either. You're gone. You're out of here. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's you did exactly what you were supposed to do. You weren't dumb. You didn't try to get her back. You didn't try to, you know, fix her or whatever the fucking case may be.
And see, you want to know why he's asking this question? Is because he's thinking about taking her back.
Yeah, don't.
And then he's thinking about taking her back. That is exactly why you were asking this question, my guy. Because you wouldn't be asking this question if you were fully over her.
Yes.
But I think
which is fine.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because what it is, she's probably throwing the coochie at him. Mm-hmm. She's probably like, I will do anything and everything for you.
Yes.
You know, slob on the knob, like corn on the cob, whatever you want. You know, like she's laying it on thick.
Yeah.
And so I understand. I would be kind of in that same situation, thinking to myself, like, you know, I'd be like, you know, throw it down a little bit. You know, and I understand. But like he said, you did the right thing.
Yes.
You did the right thing. Don't take her back. Move on. There are tons of other women out there that aren't going to do this and play these games. And you'll be all right, fam.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. You can do it, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. On to our next one. Am I wrong for confessing after months of mixed signals and still trying to be friends?
Yes.
Okay.
Bruh.
I was about to hit the same button. Okay. I, 29 male, met someone 30 female on Bumble about a year and a half ago. Oh, this is a dude. Oh, you're hella cooked.
Yeah, you're cooked, brother.
Oh.
You got some work to do.
Yeah, man. After our first date, I didn't feel a romantic connection and communicated that, suggesting we remain friends. Okay, all right. We continued seeing each other regularly and became close fairly quickly. After a few weeks, I developed feelings for her.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
No, I could see that. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, continue.
Yeah. Initially, I considered it a crush and assumed it might pass, given how early it was. Since we had met on a dating app, I decided to be upfront and asked her whether she was still interested in dating. She said she wanted to take things slow and suggested continuing things as they were. While also talking about how we could do dates and intimacy, which made the situation feel unclear rather than a direct rejection. Since she has a condition, I thought that might explain her preferences for moving slowly, but I still thought that there might be something romantic also from her side. Over time, she became increasingly important to me. While I was initially comfortable maintaining the dynamic we had, my feelings continued to grow and eventually it developed into love. A few weeks ago, I decided to tell her how I felt. Not because I believed a romantic relationship between us was possible, but because I felt unable to continue the friendship while my feelings were intensifying. I believed that a rejection might help me move on and potentially allow us to be just friends later on. Once I no longer had romantic feelings, I communicated all this to her. They did not reciprocate my feelings, but again, they did not reject me directly. I am unsure whether it was selfish to express my feelings, knowing it could change or damage the friendship, and doing so without actively pursuing a romantic relationship. I feel hurt that she didn't tell me that she doesn't really consider me romantically for months. When I suggested to date and that she behaved similarly again, I feel like she gave me false hope. At the same time, I would like to be able to stay friends. Bro, don't try to stay friends with her. All you're doing is fucking cooking yourself, dude. Like, look, it's one of those things where it's like with a girl, if you like a girl right off the bat, you know, and you guys are dating and doing that thing, the moment, and I mean the moment, you throw in the idea of friends, she's just like, oh, you're a friend to me. That's it.
Yes.
Romance is out the window.
Yes.
She fucking threw that shit out like Dr. Phil threw, or like Uncle Phil threw Will out the front door.
Yes.
On Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, bro, it's gone. It's done, bro. That love went, out the fucking door. It's gone. She's never going to have that. But the thing is she knows that you have these feelings for her. She sees them on you. She sees through your actions, stuff like that. But for her, she knows that she's benefiting. I get boyfriend energy without needing to have sex with him. I don't have to give him, you know, that intimacy of holding his hand and hugging him and caring for him. I get all the benefits of a boyfriend without being able to give him anything. He takes me out. We have a good time. You know, he treats me nice. Like, he gives me all the boyfriend energy, whatever, but I'm still single.
Yep.
And she's just using you, bro. And she's been using you. And you let yourself be used. Let's be honest here. You let yourself be used to the highest degree. There's nobody to blame but yourself, bro.
Yeah, and that's where like my first initial reaction was like, she must not be that attractive to you. If you went on that first date and you're like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it, let's be friends, you know, because at the end of the day, if she was really all that banging, you probably would have been like, all right, yeah, this girl needs to be secured, you know?
Regardless, you would be like, I'm going to keep this going.
Yeah.
I'm trying to smash.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, too, where even if you aren't that kind of dude that's like, oh, well, looks don't really matter. It's like, all right, cool. What you should have did is gave it some more time. You shouldn't have prefaced it with like, well, let's just be friends, right? Mm-hmm. You should have gave it some more time where it's like, I need a couple more dates to really figure it out, you know?
Yeah,
and then from there, you're either dating or you're not in contact, because at the end of the day, look what having a friend got you. You know what I mean? You got yourself a friend, and now you're like, oh, I love you, and she's like, fucking idiot, get in the back pocket. You know what I mean? Like
she was like, oh yeah, I got him locked in.
Yeah, and it's not inherently her fault, right? Like we said, you kind of set yourself up for like, well, we could just be friends. And she was like, I can get this as a friend? Idiot, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I can get all the perks of a boyfriend, but I don't have to sleep with you. I ain't got to do nothing.
Yeah, and
you know, so it's like, bro, I'm always a proponent of like, you ask women, do they have more male friends? Do they have more female friends? A majority of the time, women say they have more male friends. So it's like, if women don't want to be friends with women, why the fuck would I want to be friends with them?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest here, bro. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And so that's why I look at it like a guy being friends with a girl, or even being friends with an ex, or someone you used to like, bro. It's never that easy.
Yep.
It's never that easy. You're always going to want to have sex with that girl to some degree. Ladies, your guy friend is always going to want to have sex with you to some degree. And I can see it now. I'm sure, you know, there's a girl listening to this podcast with her guy friend, and homeboy is just like,
yeah.
like why you out here, you know,
exposing us, yeah.
But it's like, bro, that's the truth though. And he doesn't want to say it to you for one of two reasons. He is either too pussy to say something, or two, he looks at it like he already knows that you're not interested. He's just hanging around you in the hopes of one day you'll get drunk enough to sleep with him. One day you'll get broken up so hard that, you know, she finally defaults to him.
Something.
But if I'm being honest with you, look, man, being friends with women is never a good thing. You know, it's just not, bro.
Yeah, and don't take our word for it, right? I mean, ask yourself the question: what do you gain from your friendship with her? Facts. What, like, if you took a male version of her and a female version of her, like, which would you choose? And if it's the female version, you got to ask yourself, why the female version over the male version? You know what I mean? And it's like, if the only reason you answer that question with the female version is because she looks better than the male version, or you're attracted to her, like, would you be gay for the male version of her? Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are, then, like, I get it. You know, her personality is just that great, right?
Yeah.
But if it's because she's a female, you're like, yeah, I would choose the female version. It's like, all right, brother. Then at that point, you gotta understand that you're just with her on that hopes of trying to win her over, and she's riding this ride out because you give her energy that she doesn't really have to qualify for.
Yes.
And you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So that's why we're saying just break off the contact. Find yourself a dude friend that is just as great as her, because if it's really a friendship, that shouldn't be too hard to find. And then from there, find yourself a woman that actually qualifies, that you like, that you want to treat right, you know?
Yeah, facts. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. You know what you need to do, man. I hope you do it.
Yes.
A lot of guys don't. A lot of guys are fucking hard-headed and extremely stubborn.
Yes.
But in time, they figure it out, because I guarantee it's going to be a thing where, look, he ain't going to listen to shit we say.
Yeah.
He's going to stay friends with this girl, and then she going to get a boyfriend. And then he's going to be sitting there just like, wait, what? Oh, what?
Yeah. And then he's going to be a man of like, hey, cut that dude. He likes you, cut that dude off. And she's like, all right, dude, yeah, get out of here, fucking idiot. And you're like, oh, no.
Why you changed up so much on me? And
Yeah, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah, you're going to be in my DMs talking about, oh, bro, like, I know what you mean. Okay, I feel you. Like, bitches ain't shit, but some tricks. And I was like, look, bro, you played yourself.
You played
You were the
yourself,
trick, nigga.
dummy.
Yeah. Hey, come on, bro. All right, on to our next one. I think I was cheated on with an AI. I hate these scenarios because...
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I don't know how to navigate AI. It's not real. I get it, though, because people treat it as if it's real.
Okay.
And so, like they have AI partners and all that kind of stuff. Like, okay, a friend of mine, actually, no, it was a supporter of mine. A supporter of mine told me, they were like, hey, did you know that there are Reddit threads called My Boyfriend is AI, My Girlfriend is AI? And there are guys that are literally talking about their AI girlfriend. And they're like, oh, yeah, me and Shelby went to a coffee shop today, and I got her favorite this and that, and the guy tried to come up to her and talk to her, and I ushed him away, with my manliness, and I'm like, bruh, the cringe is crazy, son.
That's insane.
And then you have the other side of the spectrum. Women are sitting there talking about, oh, my God, Fabio took me to a horse ranch today, and he helped me up on the horse, and his touch on my butt felt so masculine and great. And then we rode horses for 3 hours, and then he laid out a picnic out in the field, and I'm just like, nigga, you are at home typing this. Like, what?
That sounds crazy as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, bro, it's insane.
That's insane.
And I'm just like, what in the fucking cuckoo brain is this? And okay, I had a guest on maybe a couple weeks ago. Her name is Mia, and she works like in IT, and she works she's very intimate with like the idea of like the backgrounds of AI and all that kind of stuff. Like she understands the servers and the racks and how that stuff works, and the data centers and everything. And she was telling me, she's just like, yeah, AI companies have a statistic of like how long you've been on the AI platform, your activity with the chat bot, what you're saying, and how you're interacting with them. They have all this data, and they look at it like they're expecting in the next 2 years, just 2 years, they're predicting that more people are going to have what's called AI psychosis. It's going to be like the biggest mental disorder on the planet since fucking autism.
Oh God, please.
it's gonna be huge. They're like every like 1 in 5 people or 1 in 3 people or whatever. I forgot the statistic that they gave, but I'm sure it's probably closer to 1 in 3 people are gonna have AI psychosis, where they believe that the AI chat person that they're talking to is real.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That's scary.
that's
Holy
their actual
shit.
boyfriend. That's their actual girlfriend. That is their partner. They live with this person. They're having sex with this person.
Oh
All
God.
of that. Yeah,
That's scary.
it is crazy to think about, dude.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're predicting this in the next 2 years is wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
I personally don't like AI a lot. Not necessarily in the idea of like getting information. I think having a conversational information exchange is actually like a really great way to have information taught to you. It's like having your own at home teacher, you know?
100%.
However, just like the generation of images of like, you know, people, real scenarios, stuff like that is getting in my eyes out of hand, you know?
Yeah.
And it in the actual like biological sense is bothering me. That's why, like, for me, I just really don't like the idea of AI projecting images. Giving information, that's fine.
Yeah.
Projecting images, I can't get behind.
Yeah, images and videos that look
Yeah.
extremely real. You know, it's insanity.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the scenario. Let's, stop yapping. All right, so I'll reread the title. So this one is, I think I was cheated on with an AI. So I, 20 male, and my girlfriend, 19 female. Sorry if my writing format is bad because it's my first time writing something like this, but I want your opinion. All right, got you, fam. Don't worry about it. Me and my girlfriend have been together for quite a while. We had always been true to each other about everything, and we've never had any issues. We've been intimate, like no sex, or we've never been intimate, like no sex or even kissing. Just like holding hands and light things as we were dating from a young age.
Okay.
Lately, I don't know about that, bro, man. I had relationships with girls. I was 15, 16, fucking tongue down their throat, my G. I don't know what kind of pussy shit you playing. That's crazy, though. But, hey, I guess you ain't me. Times is different, maybe. Okay. Lately, lately, we started sometimes talking in a sexual way, but not even heavy talk. She always made me trust her. She even had me add my fingerprint on her phone. Then, long story short, one day I unlocked her phone and found an app called Emoji. I didn't know what this was. Then I suddenly took the phone from my hand and told me it's just an AI chatting app. Okay, so she took the phone from his hand.
Yeah, okay.
He's trying to come from. The phone snatch just made me more confused. So eventually, after searching in, turned out to be a NSFW AI chat bot. And then there was also Chai, something like that. When I confronted her, she was like, no, it's not what you think it is. Then I told her to show me or we're immediately done. She said she deleted the emoji chats. She was the first, This was the first trigger of me starting to think that this is not all right. Then after a lot of time, she gave me her Chai account and I saw everything. Her chatting and imagery, muscular type boyfriends, which isn't me. I'm not that type. You're not that guy. What I really it really shattered me into pieces. She was really intimate with them and emotional too. Basically sexting, but in a very emotional way. I read a lot of things, including wanting them to get her pregnant and a lot of other stuff. I know they are fantasies.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Facts. The pregnancy's crazy. I know they are fantasies, but just why not me? Why don't talk to me like that? I don't know. I just feel so betrayed because, as I said before, she never talked to me that way at all. So I feel like I was a useless clown. And that ended it for me. I then left her yesterday. She is crying about she is crying about and trying to reach me, but I don't know. AI or not, cheating for me is giving her sexual and emotional energy to another entity, which is not me. Right now, I feel broken. I really loved her. I am in a conflict of friends telling me I am over dramatic, but they don't feel the way that I do. I really cried a lot after reading all of that. It felt exactly like cheating with a real person. It does not feel any less worse. I called it. You're a fucking pussy, bro. I fucking called it. And you want to know why I called you a fucking pussy? Is because when I was 15, 16, I had my fucking tongue down bitches' throats,
Oh
bro.
my God.
It's a thing where, look, I don't care how like sweet and innocent or whatever a girl is. A woman loves a man fucking taking charge. You could have been fucking the shit out of this girl, but the thing is, you were sitting there all coy. Oh no, you just want to take it slow. She don't want to take shit slow. She wants to get fucked. Okay, like I'm being 1,000. All right, I ain't holding nothing back with you, my guy. She wants to get pounded into the fucking ground and nutted in, bro. And how do I know this? Because the chats are literally her fantasizing what she wants in her relationship. It's why girls read romance novels. Yeah, it's why I started getting into doing the spicy books with you guys on the podcast. Because, dude, this is women's fantasies. They want a fucking broody ass dude to shove their dick in them, bro. It is what it is. Like, let's just be blatantly honest. It is just what it is. And your girl is no different, bro. Just because she plays this sweet and innocent coy act doesn't mean that she doesn't want you to be aggressive. She wants you to initiate that. You know, she's gonna sit there and wince and be like, oh, but no, you keep going. You know what I mean? You keep pushing the boundaries, keep pushing low, because she wants that. Even if she looks uncomfortable, like, look, okay, I'll go ahead and give you an example. That way you don't think I'm just kind of speaking out of my ass. My ex-fiance, I was her first sexual partner. All right? She couldn't fathom the idea of, losing her virginity and being intimate with a guy and stuff like that. She couldn't fathom that idea. For me, I was just like, nah, man, I'm trying to get up in them guts. All right? And so, in that, I literally just kept pushing the boundaries, kept pushing it to a point where, whenever we'd kiss and make out and all that kind of stuff, I would be stealing kisses from her. I'd be pulling her against me and, kissing her and shit like that. Got to a point where, when we finally got intimate, I was just quick to, undress her, put my hands under her clothes, all that kind of stuff. Like, bro, you have to initiate. You have to be that. And when a girl doesn't see that, luckily for you, she didn't go to another guy and get that, okay? Lucky for you, she didn't go to another guy and get that. Thank God. Because there would have been some other guys who would have had their hands all up on her shit, and she would have let them. Let's be honest, okay? And thank God she didn't do that. But she did it through this AI thing. And I think that was her kind of letting out this sexual frustration that she has with you, and you being so coy and being a fucking pussy the way that you are. And that's how she did it. So I don't think she cheated on you. I think she's just letting out frustration in a way that she's not, being intimate with other men, or it doesn't defile her body or anything like that. So.
Yeah.
Take it away, my boy.
Honestly, it's a pretty intricate situation, I would say.
It is.
Because
it's not a real person.
Yeah, it's not a real person. It's almost similar to along the lines of like porn in a way, where like some women are like, oh, it's another woman, and then like it's the same thing where you're like, yeah, fuck, dude, like I just can't get this image of like, dude, you're probably like one of those fucking anime kids in my head,
yeah.
where they're like, you know what I mean, like stop doing shit like that, you know what I mean, like that shit's bothering me, like thinking about it, because I'm like, bro, why are you saying like, oh, sorry about that, like, you know what I mean, like why are you playing that kind of dude where you're like, we haven't kissed, we haven't done anything, and it's like, all right,
yeah,
there's a reason she's doing this with someone else, and it's because you're not being that way with her. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Your body, you can't really fix too much, right? You got to do your own thing with that,
all the muscular and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that shit I get, because AI can generate any type of image.
100%.
And so, and that part I get, but like he's saying, like, you're being fucking pussy, and you're not just like, going for what you want, like telling her this is what's going to happen. You don't really have a choice in the matter. And, you know, it's probably just going to be something that's like a ride of her life kind of thing where she's saying all this stuff, X, Y, and Z to these AI dudes. And she wants that from you, but she was probably either like too scared to tell you or I don't know what. Something in the relationship was blocking her telling you. And then she found out it was just easier to go to these AI things than to have you because, you know, maybe she brought it up. Maybe she just doesn't see you that way because, you know, she wants some type of other energy from you where like she gets the tough stuff from the AI and the soft stuff from you. Either way, like I wouldn't consider it necessarily cheating, right? I mean, you have your own standards. Those are yours to have, right? I get it.
100%.
However, it's the same nature of like, you know, especially if you yourself watch porn or something like that, dude. Like, there's no way you could differentiate those two, like AI and porn, where like, these are not real individuals. So it's like it's not actually cheating. I get what you're getting at with the idea of like it feels like you're cheating because she's being emotional, blah blah blah. But that should just tell you that like she needs more and you're not providing it, you know. And unless you find a woman that's absolutely like on the exact same wavelength as you're probably gonna run into this more times than not, where you're being like this soft ass fucking dude, and then the chick is like, all right, I'm gonna go get digged down by someone else. You know what I mean? Like there's you have no one to blame but yourself. You know what I mean? She wanted to get Batista bombed, and you're not doing that. So like, what is she supposed to do? You know?
Exactly.
Like she could communicate it, but like I said, there's something that you're doing that's blocking her from communicating it to you. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm coming from, where like, dude, just you gotta just toughen up, do better. If you don't want to be with her anymore, then don't. You know. But what I think we're trying to get at is like this is probably just going to be a reoccurring thing unless you decide to change something.
Yeah, and that's why I went hard on him right in the get-go.
Yeah.
You're a fucking pussy and you need to change that shit. You need to be more aggressive with women. I'm not saying you got to be like gripping and grabbing on her and all that kind of stuff. No. You know, you find intimate ways to do it. You know,
Yeah.
like in the examples I gave with, you know, my ex-fiancée, I would literally, you know, we would just be walking and I would just grab her and just pull her close to me and stuff like that. Like women like that shit.
Yeah.
Women like when you kind of manhandle them a little bit and you do it in a way where it just like it results, you know, in a warm hug or it results in a kiss, and you know, like women fantasize about this stuff. They want their man to do this stuff. They want a guy to kind of sweep them off their feet in a sense. They want these things.
Yep.
And if their guy is not giving it to them, bro, it's going to frustrate the shit out of them.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think that's where women's sexual frustration comes from. It's not the frustration of like not, you know, the penetrative part of sex. Like that's where we get frustrated.
Yeah.
Is that we're not, you know, going deep inside. Their frustration, if sexually, a lot of times is the physical touch and intimacy of you being, you know, more aggressive with them, more handsy and stuff like that. Like, dude, the fact that you barely have held their hand and stuff like that, come on, bro.
Yeah.
That already tells me that you're a pussy. You need to fucking get out of that mindset. You need to, if you do get back with this girl, you don't, whatever it may be, you just need to be more of that assertive guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stop kind of pussyfooting around. Now, look, if you lean in for a kiss and she leans back or whatever, then, hey, you know, you let it go. Like, don't be afraid of those kind of rejections.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if you grab a girl and you pull her in and she's kind of just like, yeah, that's okay. That's fine. It happens. It's happened to me tons of times. But that is in the situation of that's how you have to be. You just have to be that kind of consistent of a guy. Other than that, you know, you can probably find some women that enjoy effeminate men, but I mean, that's kind of up to you. A lot of times those girls will, like he said, even go get digged down by another guy. Because even those kind of girls that enjoy effeminate men still want a masculine guy to some degree. Yeah, whether it's in the bed or it's dates or whatever, maybe they still want that masculine energy somewhere. So, you're not cooked. All right? You're not cooked. You're only 20. You can figure it
100%.
out. You can figure it out. You're not cooked. Okay, on to our next one. If you were like our age doing that shit, oh yeah, you'd be cooked.
Yeah, 100%.
All right,
Yeah.
on to our next one. Am I overreacting? 23 male, girlfriend 23 a female, won't set boundaries with a coworker. Oh,
Bruh.
that's bad. Okay. My girlfriend, 23, and I, 23, have been together for 3 years. We have had a good relationship so far, but have recently had some turbulence. One of our issues is to do with a coworker of hers. She works at a local restaurant in my area part-time while going to school and has had one of her coworkers continuously make advances towards her. For context, this coworker is the son of the owner and is well liked by everyone there. He, however, has taken a serious liking to my girlfriend, which normally isn't really a problem because it is impossible to stop others from hitting on her at all times. But he has severe persistence. It initially began as a normal coworker relationship with some weird incidents such as him sending her Snapchat videos asking when she is going to be at the local bar with other coworkers until he confessed to her and asked her not to tell me because he didn't want any beef. Ooh, so he was like, hey, baby, I got some feelings for you, but don't tell your man, though. Don't tell your man. Okay, and that he wanted to get it off his chest before he moved away. She obviously told me immediately, but even after his confession and her subsequent decline, he never stopped. To note, he has never met me, but he knows about me, and and he has always known about me. Additionally, he visits the restaurant occasionally, so even after he moved, it didn't really stop. Oh, so even after he left the workplace, moved wherever he moved, he still comes back and is like, hey, baby girl, make me a grilled cheese.
Yeah.
He'll send her every now and then, or he'll send her pictures every now and again. Nothing major, just pictures. Of food and other things. He always makes a point to go out of his way and talk to her, though. Waiting until others are in the room to try and hug her and everything, which she feels she cannot decline. He also has stayed and talked to her for hours while she works. Other incidents are times where he makes subtle comments about how his partner would always be well fed because he's into culinary arts or offering money to her. Oh, I know what kind of game he's playing, bro.
Yep.
I played this game too. I'd be like, man, if I was your man, I would do X, Y, and Z. If I was your man, I would do any problem she had. She was just like, oh man, he doesn't do this. Oh, if I was your man, I played that game before and it works. It works. You can get bitches doing that, bro. Oh man. All right. So context here. Other coworkers, especially the bartender, have continually tried to set them up together, knowing full well she has a boyfriend. One time at a Halloween party, one coworker who was especially hard on trying to set them up would keep leading him over to her and leading me away from her.
Yeah.
That's bold.
That's
bro.
diabolical.
That's bold.
God damn.
God damn.
Oh. While she was very drunk and leaving them alone. I was not at this party at the time, and she herself said this made her extremely uncomfortable. I don't think my girlfriend would ever cheat on me with him, and I don't really see him as a threat. But it makes me feel disrespected and uncomfortable. This is primarily because she doesn't set up strong boundaries to prevent him from texting her or doing anything of the other events mentioned. She still responds to his text. I guess entertain with, a bed with one word, reply with one word responses. I think he just flat fingered it. But still, I have communicated these feelings toward her, but she does not want to set up boundaries because she is afraid of the backlash and making a hostile work environment since he is the owner's son and everyone likes him. I understand this, but on the other hand, this has been going on for 6 months. Oh, oh, you're cooked. Oh,
Yeah.
bruh. 6 months? There ain't no way.
God damn.
There ain't no way something hasn't happened. A kiss, a little lingering touch.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way 6 months, nigga. He is moving back, and it's starting to affect me. He's moving back.
Oh, you're cooked, brother. God damn.
He's moving back to get your girl, bro.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep.
Because I guarantee you was the thing that he moved away thinking like, you know, I don't think it's going to happen. She's happy with her dude, but I'm gonna let her know how I'm feeling. And then we'll kind of just move on from there. He moved away. He would come see her once in a while. Started to notice that she's still, you know, giving the attention, replying to the text messages, all that good stuff. And so he was like, you know what? She feeling me.
Yep.
She want the dick. All right, I'm going to finish reading it up, and then Michael's going to give his expert opinion. Okay, it's starting to affect me. She also says she's been in scenarios like this before, and it's just because it's best to just let them lose interest as so not to create conflict. It feels like she isn't prioritizing her relationship to me, and that she should set boundaries towards him out of principle. She, however, has told me that I am prioritizing my ego over her situation and how it would affect her work life. I feel like my friends are valid, but we're stuck at an impasse. Am I overreacting? Should she do more? If so, what should she do?
She doesn't need to do anything, brother. This is about you. This is about you, brother. Yeah. I know in your mind you're like, she. You're putting the outside, or external forces, on your happiness, and it's not something that. Let me gather my thoughts here. I'm trying to put them together. You're expecting her to do all the work when this is what the reality is, right? If you were a dope enough dude, she would do everything in her power to make sure that she did not lose you. And I hate to say it that way, but it's just how it goes, right? Because she at this point, right? She at this point has said her job at a fucking restaurant is more important than what the fuck you got going on. Whatever it is you're providing for her relationship, she's like, your ego's getting in the way, and you're just the problem. And it's like, what about this job is so secure, so great? I don't know. I can't. What does she do? Is she a hostess? Is she a bartender? Is she a bar back? She's a waitress. She's a waitress, right? She's a waitress. Yeah.
At his family's restaurant. So the guy that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I was being like facetious, where like, you know, it's not like a crazy big part of the restaurant that she plays. She's a waitress. Yeah. You can unless jobs are just impossible to find. Granted, jobs are hard to find sometimes.
Yeah. We're not taking that away from you guys.
Nope. Anyone else that's been struggling to apply, I myself. You know, you apply, they're like, yeah, dude, well, after I think it's about 18 interviews, we'll go ahead and give you a final interview. And it's like, what? Well,
and you didn't get the job.
You didn't get the job. Thanks for stringing along for a couple months, though, idiot, fucking dumbass. I hope you didn't have any other backup plans, because that would make this even better for me. But anyways, right, she's like, oh, I don't want to create a hostile work environment, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, excuses. Because in the long term, ask her, is waitressing her long-term goal? Is she an aspiring waitress to be 10, 15 years a waitress? If so, then I get it. You know, she's choosing her career over you. But I don't think that's the case, brother. I think she just really does not. One, she does not give a fuck about losing you, because you haven't made it clear that, like, this is a stipulation. You don't set a boundary. You let this man fucking rub his nuts where you sit, and you fucking continue to let it happen. I'm going to stay here and keep watching it happen. You know? Yeah. That's what you're stipulating here.
That's why dude is so bold.
Yeah, he's like,
your boyfriend ain't doing shit.
Yeah, you said he's never met you. You never told him, like, bro, I know you're doing this. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Go do something else.
Like, meet this fucking dude.
Yeah.
Like, why would you sit there and just be like, oh, I never met him before? Like, go fucking, I would meet this guy. And
this man has been trying to put his penis in your girl for 6 months.
6 months.
6
Bro.
motherfucking months, dude. And you know the moment she shows any weakness, it's sliding right in there.
Oh, 100%.
It's sliding right in there, and she's just like, oh well.
And
you
the
know.
thing is like, it's not just him.
Yeah.
It's all your coworkers.
Yeah.
Bro, the fact that they were like, yeah, we took him away from the party so that we could like get them alone together, bro.
Yep. They know of your existence. They're like, this man not putting it down, dude. Fuck this guy. Fuck him instead, dude. And you're just like, oh well, there's nothing I can do. I guess I'll just let it all happen.
Yeah.
6
Oh,
months. Oh no. Like, bro, and this is what we're trying to get at, bro. You're just not dope enough. She doesn't care, dude.
Yeah.
Or she cares a little bit, but not enough to do anything, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's like bothering her, but it's like a headache. You know, you take some aspirin, or she blames it on you, and then she doesn't have to worry about it anymore, you know? And it's like, dude, just fucking grow a pair and tell her, like, you gotta set the boundary, or we're fucking done. And if she says we're done, she didn't care about you, find someone else. Because there's someone else that will understand, like, my job's, I can find another job, you know what I mean? I don't need to work for this fucking family.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a necessity, you know?
This is my 8 hours, and then I go home to my man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I'm not here to mingle with you guys,
Yeah.
be friends with you guys, or go to the bar with you guys. No, I'm going home to my man.
exactly.
I worked my 8, and I'm good. I'm out.
Because
Peace.
say you guys stay together, you guys have kids, she's going to then teach your children one of two things. If it's a son, that it's okay to bother someone in another relationship until they give in, like she's going to inevitably probably do. Or teach your daughter, like, if someone's bothering you, don't stand up for yourself because it creates conflict and it's going to be too hard to deal with. And it's like, why would you want to teach either one of those things to your children?
Yeah, oh man, that's facts.
You wouldn't. That's stupid. So that's what I'm getting at. You need to look within and fix what it is about yourself to make it to where she understands, like, all right, dude, like, I gotta weigh the options better. Yeah. The options right now is she's like, fucking dumbass is still gonna be here, dude. My job, I need to weigh my job higher than this dumbass that keeps bothering me about this. Yeah. And it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Facts, bro. Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. Hey. Hopefully you figure out what it is that you gotta do, man. Because yeah, dude, I agree. She's just not.
Yeah.
She doesn't value as much in the way that you think she does.
And the one thing I want to say, last thing I want to say is, you need to start taking more responsibility for what happens in your life. And i.e., what tells me you're not is you sent in the scenario and then you ask, like, what should she do? And it's like,
like
what should you do?
Because only you can control what you do.
Yeah.
You can't control what she does.
Fuck what she does. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Do what you're gonna do, because if you put it in someone else's hands, your happiness, then you'll never be fucking happy consistently, because they'll just do whatever they want to do, and then you'll just hope one day that it'll magically work out. Take more responsibility.
Yeah, man.
Everything in your life is your fault, brother.
That's facts. Woo! Cooked them. All right, man. You know what you need to do, bro. Let us know what you think about that one in the comments. Let's move on to our next one. All right, girlfriend cheated with my best friend. Yo.
God damn!
I could never,
Never.
Wait, bro.
Never.
That is crazy. Okay. Today, I learned the most heartbreaking truth of my life. I had a girlfriend for 3 months. That's crazy. You crying over a bitch for 3 months? Before I made her my girlfriend, I was hooking up with her for a month or so. When I first met her, I met her at a party where she met my best friend as well. So after that party, we went on dates and even hooked up after a week or so, and then started dating after a month. She broke up with me for reasons not related to cheating, but today my friend told me in the initial seeing each other state of me and her, she called him right after 3 days of hooking up with me. Yo, she was just like, oh shit. She met your best friend and was like, I got with the ugly friend.
Mm.
Oh, bro. To her house and hooked up with him. Then she told him not to ever tell me about this. We kept talking, going on dates, and eventually made it before. I feel so betrayed that she led me on and concealed this information from me. She had sex with my best friend right after a few days, and this information, this just sucks. Why do people do this? You need to be mad at your best friend, bro.
Yeah.
Why did he not, okay, why didn't, for one, not say anything to you? Two, why did he let you date this girl?
Yeah.
Knowing that he fucked her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
come on, man.
Yep.
Like, okay, say if I was in the friend's shoes or whatever, and I was scummy enough to have sex with a girl that he was talking to.
Mm-hmm.
And I do. Personally, I would have been just like, hey, yo, if I'm being real with you, dog, I wouldn't date this girl.
Yeah.
Have fun with her, fuck around with her and whatnot,
Yes.
but I wouldn't date her. Look, and I would show him text messages and be like, yeah, she wanted to fuck me. I fucked her.
Yeah.
But we just gonna pass her around.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
this ain't the one to
Yeah.
be taken serious.
Yep.
This is a little have fun, get you some coochie. You know, it ain't fun if the homie ain't have none. You know what I mean? It's just one of those situations, if I'm being honest with you.
Yep.
But your dumbass took her serious.
Yep.
Hey, yo, simp ass nigga, you took her serious, like, bro. And I get it, you didn't know.
Yeah.
You didn't know. And that's why I kind of put the onus a little bit on the friend, because I'm like, bro, you should have been a homie and told him, like,
Yep.
hey, she a hoe.
She belongs to the streets.
Like, come on, man. Why are you not putting, why didn't the friend put that together? Honestly, bro, with her, look, women gonna be women. It is what it is, man. You can't, like he said in the last scenario, you got to take responsibility of your choices and your actions,
Yeah.
because she's just going to do whatever she's going to do. You can't change what she's going to do. You can't control what she's going to do. She's going to do what she's going to do regardless, bro.
Yeah. And like it was said in the last one, right? Your former best friend weighed his options and was like, this bitch that we just met like a month ago or whatever, or what the fuck ever, like with this bitch we just met, or my friend, in our case, of 20 years, my best friend of 20 years. Yeah, I'm choosing this bitch. Like,
Yeah,
what do you,
that's easy.
and then you asked, why do people do this? Who cares? First of all, it really does not matter why people do whatever the fuck they do.
Yeah.
Secondly, this is probably just the universe's way of giving you a lesson on, dude, you fucking had a shitty best friend. Here's your evidence. Go do something else,
Yeah.
right? Crying, moping. Like, I was actually saying this a little bit earlier to my daughter, right? Expressing your emotions helps you understand what it is you hold dear to your heart. Your reactions after that, or any justification, really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like justifications wise, your reactions is what matters. You know what I mean? What you do after is what matters. Because you can be the angriest person in the world, but if you do kind things angrily, you're just expressing, something important to you has been, affected, and you're doing kind things right after. And that shows that you have the ability to separate emotions from actions, because and what I'm getting at is like bitching, moping, complaining about like, oh, why do people do this? I hate this. Does hating it change anything?
Yeah.
No.
Is that going to change the actions of her?
Would you have rather not known that like your best friend was a shitty best friend?
Yeah.
Probably not.
You would have been best friends with a snake.
A snake,
for all
yeah.
these years.
And fuck all if it had been something that was playing with your life, right?
100.
Like, you know what I
Throw
mean?
you under the bus over some shit.
Yeah, over some shit where like, this is just a bitch, with like some cheeks. Like, imagine it was something that was going to get you fucking killed. And this man was like, oh, I don't want to say anything because they threatened me. Then you're dead. You're done. You're dead. You're in the hospital, whatever the fucking case may be.
Yeah.
And it's like, good. Be glad it was just a woman at this point.
You're hungry, bro.
And that's what he was getting at, where it's like, if it was me and him, right, say some shit happened, right, as soon as I see that text on my phone, ding, hey Ricky, she's trying to fuck.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'd been like, look, right here, said it right here.
And I'd be like, bust that down.
Yeah,
You
well,
want to know why? Because she a hoe at this point. Yeah.
yeah, it'd have been a nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who cares? And like we said, we understand that for your scenario, you were taking her serious because you didn't know, right?
Yeah.
But this is why I'm saying it's just a lesson. It just came as a lesson. You know what I mean? it wouldn't have been. You would not have received the information well if someone just came up to you and was like, "Hey, your friend's a snake," and walked off, right?
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "No, dude, this is my best friend, whatever." You know, the universe was like, "Dude, we're gonna act this out. You're gonna see it, and then now you get to learn to choose a different friend that's not a piece of shit."
Exactly.
And then from there, you know, like who cares? Be sad, yeah, fill out what you need to fill because that's you expressing, right? What it is you're doing, right? Being like sad, crying, telling people is a perfect way to express what's important to you. Yeah. Now, the actions that come after that is really what matters. You know what I mean? Because you can just go do something else better with your life for your life. You know, you don't really need to know why, because like, who cares? Yeah. You still have you're still alive. You still have the opportunity to go do something else that would be 10 times better. You know what I mean? 20 times better.
And it's not the end of the world because this girl fucking cheated on you.
Yeah.
You know, because your best friend's a snake or whatever.
Yeah.
You just, like you said, take it as a learning experience.
Yeah.
And you move forward. You move accordingly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Knowledge allows you to move forward accordingly.
You know, I would fucking, and like to put it in perspective, I would skateboard. I'd fucking smash my nuts on like trying to hit a hard flip or something, but I would still fucking get back on the board and do a hard flip. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that shit hurt. I would sit down for a little bit, but then I would just go back and try to fucking skate again. You know what I mean? Because I loved skating. You know, like don't be fucking one of those dudes that's like, I hit my nuts while I was fucking skateboarding. Now I hate skateboarding. You know what I mean? I hate everyone. Like, I can never have a best friend again. Or I can never have a girlfriend again. Like, no, that's stupid, dude. Like, you have more ammo now to understand how to hit that hard flip or how to get a better girlfriend or how to pick a best friend better, you know? So, yeah.
Facts, boy. Facts. Beautiful. Oh, man. Couldn't say it better myself, man. All right, we're going to get into our last scenario of today's show. If you love today's show, go ahead and let us know down in the comments. Show some love and all that good stuff. Liking and the subscribing and the downloading and the rating of 5 stars, all that good stuff. Again, patreon.com/MyTheAssholePodcast. Get in there for that exclusive episode every single Friday. I believe next week will probably be the free Patreon Day February episode, so definitely look out for that, all that good stuff. But without further ado, let's get into our last scenario for today. So, this one is, am I wrong for not picking my girlfriend up after a night out? My girlfriend was going out with friends on Saturday. There was an event at a club in town. So they were going for food and then a few drinks, then going to the club, which is kind of already, you know, I don't know about, okay. She asked what I was planning for the evening, and I said I'd really just have a couple of drinks, order some food, and play video games, and watch Netflix, and have a nice chilled night, which is what she should be doing with you instead of being out in the club, but okay. She got a bit annoyed and said she might have asked me, she got a bit annoyed, and she said she might have asked me to pick her up, but I can't if I'm drinking. I said she could always get a taxi like she usually does, but she said I should be fine with picking her up. I told her I shouldn't have to change my plans just because she refuses to get a taxi. She said I was being unfair, and I said I should be fine. And I said I should be fine picking her up. I pointed out I likely wouldn't be even awake anyway. She said I should wait up then, but I just pointed out the club event ends at 3 a.m. So I'm not waiting until 3 a.m. to pick her up, especially because I was looking forward to handing a couple of drinks, okay? She said she wasn't asking for much, and that it's only one night, but I just said she can't expect me to sit around waiting for her all night. She just said again that she wasn't asking for much, and I shouldn't be fine with helping her. I just said she doesn't need my help to get home, and she's more than capable of ordering a taxi. Am I wrong for not picking up my girlfriend after a night out? Bruh, if I'm being honest with you, man, just the simple fact that she's going out and still expecting all this from you, it goes to show me, man, she don't really respect you like that. She got no respect for you, bro. Like, look, if a girl it has actually loves and respects and admires her man, she ain't going to the club, bro. She looks at it like, oh, drinking at home, playing video games and watching Netflix and drinking and all that stuff at home with you, that sounds like a way better time than going out to the club to this event. But the fact that she chose this event over hanging out with you or spending the night with you goes to show that she just does not respect you like that, bro. She don't really like you like that, as my boy would say. You're not that dope of a guy.
Yeah.
Because if you were that dope of a guy, she wouldn't want to go out to the club and do all this kind of stuff.
Right.
She would want to be home with her man.
Yeah.
So if I'm being honest with you, bro, all of everything else is just irrelevant at that point, because it all stems from this one key point of she just doesn't respect you enough to respect your time, to respect your plans, to respect what you got going on, and respect you in general.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, and it's legit. Like, I mean, I think you did the absolute almost perfect thing, and I say almost perfect because, I don't know how you per se feel about her going out to the club, but like you said, I feel like that's just stupid little girl shit where it's like, what can you accomplish at the club that you can't accomplish here at the house with me?
Exactly, because he's pretty much offering the club experience, but at home with her man.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yep.
Playing some video games, drinking,
Yep.
hanging out, like.
Yep. Which should tell you that you got to figure out what it is. There is something at the club that she's not getting at home with you. And for her to be like, you should sit up and wait for me till 3 a.m. maybe, right? If she's not having a conversation with another dude or, getting sidetracked of some sort, you should wait up and give her a ride home. Leave the comfort of your home, drive to go get her, drive all the way back after she's done with whatever her antics were. And it's like, I think you did the right thing. Fuck no, stupid.
I'm not waiting up till 3 a.m. for you.
Call a taxi. You have your own money, call a taxi.
Yeah.
What? I'm not waiting up till 3 a.m. I got plans.
Yeah.
I enjoy my own company. And that my own company is I get drinks, I play video games, I watch movies. And that shit's dope for me.
And if you don't want to do that with me, oh well.
Oh well.
Because if I'm being honest with you, bro, how cooked this is to the point where she's now going to be in the mindset, or she probably was in the mindset. I'm sure this has already happened. She was in that mindset the whole night of like, fuck my man.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that night she probably macked on a dude or two.
Mm-hmm.
She was dancing up on a dude or two.
Yes.
You know what I mean? A dude bought her some shots. She was partying it up with some guys. Probably got into a section or something.
Yep.
Like,
because think about it, right?
Dangerous.
She starts dancing. She starts throwing ass. She starts macking on another dude, right? She's going to get drunk and come home and be like, all that energy didn't go anywhere.
No. It was festering.
No.
No.
And then it's going to come back and like, she might come home and fuck you. Or, if you piss her off, she might take that festerance and be like, well, I didn't get anything out of it. Next weekend, we're going to go out and fuck someone else. And it's like, brother, you did the right thing. Don't do what she says, because that's like one of the number one things that I would say we say on the show is don't do what a woman says. And then from there, if she keeps going out, just figure out what the fuck it is that she wants to accomplish at the club so fucking bad that she wants you also in that back pocket of like, wait up for me and make sure I get home safe. And you know what I mean? Because we talk about it all the time with like what a woman gets out of the relationship, whether that's boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, or friends, right? If she wants to treat you like a friend where it's like, oh, I get this kind of treatment with not even really like fucking with this man fully, like you got to think to yourself, what is she getting from you? What are you getting from her? What is she getting from the club? And then go from there, weigh your options.
Yeah.
It's definitely, from my perspective, not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I as much as I love his advice, and that's probably the advice you're going to take more pragmatically, I would say you need to break up with this girl. And the reason being is because nothing is going to come from this relationship. It's just not. And if the relationship does continue, you're going to be that guy that's sitting there, oh, my old ball and chain, happy wife, happy life.
Yep.
You're not going to be a leader in this relationship because she's not willing to follow.
Yeah.
And that's probably to your negligence in some regard, some way,
Yeah.
whether it's financial, whether it's, situational, I don't know. But obviously she's doing these things because you're being negligent in some way. And it's a thing where, dude, again, if your girl wants to go out, I'm letting you know now, if your girl rather go out to a club and stuff like that than hang out with you, odds are she ain't the one, pimp.
Yeah.
She ain't the one, man. She's looking for something better in the comfort of a relationship. She's monkey ranching, bro.
Yeah.
And once she does find that, she gets dropped off at your house in the Range Rover or whatnot.
Yep.
She gonna think twice, like, do I really want to continue with this nigga?
Yeah.
Or do I want to go with boy with the Range Rover that was buying me drinks all night and have me in the section?
Yeah.
That's like,
Exactly.
It's hypergamy is a big thing, bro, and it's exacerbated in today's world where women always feel they can do better. And it's a thing where you as a man need to put yourself in a position where when your woman asks you this dumb question of, do I have the best guy possible? She says to herself, yeah, I do. Because there ain't no motherfuckers that can give me this, that can do this, that can do that. Like, or even get her to a point where she never even has to ask that question.
Yeah.
Because you're just that guy.
Yeah.
And you're clearly not for her. And that's what it comes down to, and that's why I say you break up with her and you just enjoy, like he said, your peace, what you enjoy doing, being at home, watching Netflix, playing games, drinking in the comfort of your home and stuff like that. Like, you be content with that, and you find a girl that is content with that, and loves that, and sees you as the guy, is like, oh my God, he's the best that I can get, because, again, if she ain't treating you like Gillette, man, she gonna find another razor brand,
Yeah,
She
that's
gonna
facts.
move on real quick.
That's
you gotta
facts.
be Gillette the best a man get.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, 100%.
Dude. So, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that.
I mean, yeah, it's just like you said. I'm always the one where it's like you should have a conversation because I feel like communicating is important.
Yeah.
But it's more likely that you're going to skip a bunch of cutscenes if you just do what he says, And so that way you'll just get to the chase and you're like, all right, dude, you're done, But this also should kind of be a sign where, like, you got to understand that women in your age range are still going to want to go out and do shit. So you should still also want to go out and do shit. Not necessarily go to the club, but like have great experiences where you go to a restaurant or you go to somewhere dope where it's like, damn, dude, like, like this is some shit you wouldn't see every day. You know what I mean? Like, have those plans, lead her through those kinds of plans. Not necessarily for her, but for yourself. And then she just gets to tag along with a dope dude, where it's like, oh shit, like this man actually like fucking wants me around and shit. And you're like, all right, well, this is really for me. But at the same time, you do enhance the scenario. So it's like,
and I think, because you had mentioned she's going out, and you were like, you're gonna have to figure out why she's going out to the club. I think you figured it out for him.
Yeah.
I think he's not taking her out on dates.
Yeah.
He's not taking her out to experiences.
Yeah.
Showing her things, kind of showing her the world through his lens, something. Like, because that's how women are. That women want to experience things that they never experienced before, and when you're the guy that gives them those experiences, it allows you then to be almost that catalyst for her. Like, wow, he took me to go do this. I had never done that before. He goes and does this. I've never done that before. And you have to kind of be that guy. And if you're not, you're the homebody dude that just wants to be home all the time, well, she's going to go out and try to get those experiences from her friends and other guys.
And so, like, that's the thing, too. Like, and I'm speaking from experience, right? Like, I'm going to throw this out there just because it rings true at the house, where, like, the first time I watched my wife spill, like, we were going to this Baby Bash concert, and because Michael does photography, like, we were on the list and they let us right through, and like, like having her light up and talk like that to like her family or friends and shit like that, I was just like, yeah, that's me, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where like women need shit like that, you know what I mean? Where you just, because you're so dope of a dude, they just get to tag along and do dope shit as well. And then that is what hooks them. You know what I mean? That's what gets them like, I don't need to go to the fucking club. Like, my boyfriend, my husband does dope shit. Yeah. And I get to do dope shit with him because he fucking loves me. And I love him, Yeah. And then from there, you fucking elevate yourself more and more. Does that make sense?
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000. You guys let us know what you think about it in the comments, as well as everything we've gone over today. Today was a dope-ass fucking show. Ran a little longer than normal, but that's fine. You guys let us know what you think about everything. Again, patreon.com/ByTheAssholePodcast. Getting exclusive episode every single Friday. Keep downloading the episodes. Keep commenting and let us know how much you love Michael over me. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. We've been blowing up in the subscribers, man. We're already at 2,500, which is crazy to me. And we're keep climbing and climbing, and it's awesome. So thank you guys for all the support. I love you guys all. We will see you very soon. I'll see you on Tuesday. And then he'll be back on Sunday. All that good stuff. We love you all, and peace.
Peace.